3-pound greater.
Welcome to the Poor Podcast. I am Mike Lake.
Yo, I'm not gonna do. I am CP34.
Steve Cash Moneybags, aka the Fitness Addy. What's poppin', fellas?
Mike, are you doing like a porn or something? Like, what is good? Are you in a hotel room? Are you wanted?
Man, coming soon. Coming soon. You had that in the chamber, I see.
I did. Of course.
Coming.
I did have that in the chamber.
On July 3rd, on my birthday, I'm releasing a tape. I'll give you the name later.
You look like you have a kidnap victim in the back.
Nah, it's all clean in here, baby. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you in? Is that like a Motel 6? They couldn't put you on a Marriott or nothing?
I am literally in a Marriott. The fuck you talking about? Yeah, trying to be funny ass nigga.
So as y'all can probably tell, Mike is not in the studio today. Mike had to take a unscheduled trip. Everything good actually. I think it's some good shit down the
man.
So we definitely wish him well while he's there. He'll be back soon, hopefully, and we'll have his big old fat ass in the seat that my daughter's bear is currently occupying.
The real Mike.
The real
the real Mike, please stand up.
Yes. Mike always talks about how you're a bear. So I was like, how funny would it be to actually have a bear?
I'm a killer bear though. I'm a grizzly bear, not a teddy bear.
I couldn't find a dark like my dog. I'm sorry that the bear's a little too light skinned, but
I like how you got a Buck shirt on.
It does. In fact, I think that's the shirt. If you look too, Steve, it has a hole in it. I put a hole in it like so it could be like accurate.
There's a hole in it. Accurate that Mike has a hole in his shirt.
I don't know where you're coming for that.
It's that one time that you told me that you tried to hop a fence and you got a hole in your shirt.
I didn't try. I succeeded in hopping the fence, but the shit it caught the bottom of my shirt and clawed seeing the shit.
Yeah, I was just homie is literally like weird. I don't even know if we were like going to get food or some shit. It's probably getting food. We fat, so we probably getting food.
It was a Sunday like hangover brunch. Like we was just woke up and going somewhere.
It feels like a lot more room in here to you.
Yeah, it does feel like a lot more room in here. Yeah,
it ain't got shit to do with me. I don't like the I don't like the implications.
You can stretch out a little bit more.
It has nothing to do with the big ass table. It has nothing to do with the big ass table. It's because I'm not there.
Yeah, no, it has to do with the fact that what are you talking about? The table has always been this size.
That's it's
what are you actually talking about? It's always been this size.
It's clearly a different.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about neither.
Y'all niggas never change, man. I love y'all.
Yes, but
thanks. I love me too.
Yes, everyone, welcome back to the Poor Podcast. We do apologize. We did have some technical difficulties before here, per usual. Yeah, that's what we do. You know, we real CP at Shift Division Media, except for when we do other people, we usually spot on. Just when we do our own show, we got shit to do. But we're here, we're live. We got a lot of good content for you today. Steve, how your week been? I already know you're gonna tell me. Just went by like that, right?
Actually, no.
No,
you're
not
wrong.
today.
Yeah, you're wrong.
God.
I had a pretty good week, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to do a little bit of relaxing, you know what I'm saying? And nothing better than to relax with some wine. Sometimes got a little swirl and watch the legs run.
What is that? Is that a red?
This is a red
Pinot
wine. You know what I'm saying? It's
what is a Pinot Noir?
You know, I prefer red wine at the time. And I did a couple things this week that might have caused that. So.
Steve, you look like a nigga that prefers dark.
I definitely prefer.
We'll talk
you
about
look like a nigga that don't.
I know. I'm looking at literally. Shit's so clear, it's like water.
Talk about this.
Talk about the topic of the day.
Yeah, talk about the topic.
Right. Yeah, we foreshadow around here on the Poor Podcast.
Yeah. I see y'all.
Some straight up Christopher Nolan type shit.
Nah, but really, yeah, my week been cool, man.
Yes,
but honestly, and yes, you are correct. It did It did a lot of running, just like the legs on this wine glass. Get in your wine bag, you'll know what I'm talking about.
That wine is gonna straight run through your intestines, man.
Nah, wine don't do me like that.
It doesn't.
Nah.
It gives me a hangover, turns my teeth a different color, and makes me have to shit the next morning.
God,
don't fuck with it.
Or what you drinking?
Not cheap shit.
What?
That stuff that he has right there is pretty good. What is that? Copper and Thieves or some shit?
Yeah, I got put on this, man.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good wine. I like it, you know.
I'm getting a nice Banyan Reserve, a straight local vodka, St. Petersburg, across the water there. We'll put them on. We'll hit them up. Maybe give us a sponsorship one day. Put that over there.
Oh, that's what we talking about? I got a little, you know what I'm saying, a little personal. Just a little something I picked up out here in the Ville.
Steve, why is he lying? He know that's a full handle of Jack.
It looks like
why he trying to lie?
I literally just showed you the cup
Representation. As big
representation.
as your head.
Yeah.
Liar.
Yeah.
Things in this.
Shout out to the 375. A little half a
You
joint.
got a little half a pint.
Yeah. Where you
Half
say you
a-
at right now?
I'm in the Ville.
Which
I'm
Ville?
not-
There's a lot of Villes. You're not
Well,
gonna say
the-
you want to come get you.
You ain't,
What Ville you think I'm from?
I
you
don't
ain't
know.
played J. Cole one time since you've been out there.
I played J. Cole 4 times since I've been out here.
You ain't doing the Ville no justice.
I came out here to see J. Cole. What you talking? Matter of fact, J. Cole, come out.
Clearly,
Wait, hold on. Wait, pause. He's in a hotel room with J. Cole just.
Nah, J. Cole got the whole floor above me. I invited him to the shits.
Mike done fell for a J. Cole lookalike because obviously J. Cole is overseas. He's overseas
Playing basketball.
Not really
basketball,
Yeah,
yeah.
playing basketball.
Hey, but for real, I'm a little disappointed. He ain't putting up the numbers like I thought he would put up. I thought he was like gonna be like that dude. Like, I mean, I'm happy for him that he's over there, but if we're gonna be honest and keep it a buck, he's not balling overseas.
No, man.
I just
Well,
thought
'cause
that's
I
the
thought so
he
too.
could ball. I thought that, and plus getting signed.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just assumed like, and of course I know just because you get signed, like the trashiest niggas in the NBA would do the local.
Yeah, we're doing
best
dirty.
local filthy.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know that.
Well, and there's a
But-
reason why the rejects go overseas too. Not rejects. That's a bad word.
It's
They're better than me.
36.
They're better than me. They're better than me.
But it's dope.
I see your Fair Weather podcast.
But it's dope. It's dope that he even still got
mean, he's
on
up
to
here.
even play over there though. You know what I'm saying? That's super dope. But honestly, bro, he's not balling. I seen his little
Nah.
block the other day. Hey, but I gotta salute his first game though. He put up a cool 3 points, 3 rebounds, and like what?
That stat line is more trash than I be on the street ball court, bro.
Nah, J. Cole got one of the best triple
3-2.
triple singles.
Triple singles. He
got
had 3
that
points. He had like 3 points and 2 rebounds or something
He
crazy.
got one more though. Oh, and he had a couple assists.
Couple assists. Yeah,
I
a
don't know
couple
exactly
assists.
how many of his numbers, but he got a nice little triple single. Salute to Cole for that. Balling over there in Africa.
Yeah, man, so that's dope. That's definitely dope. What else has been going? There was a little bit of controversy in the news. You've been on my chat. It's not my thing. It's been on my chat. You might as well talk about it a little
What's that?
bit. Get on the Joe Budden thing that went down this week.
Oh, just like with the whole the Button podcast.
We're a pod.
like
We got to
over-
talk about other pods.
Yeah, I don't mind. As far as for people that do know, like how y'all feel about the Joe Button podcast being over. Like for me personally, that shit kind of sucked. It was definitely one of my favorite podcasts.
Honestly, can I be mean?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Do
But
real.
yeah, do your shit, Clark.
That's one less audience. That's one less show that our audience members.
Oh,
not really.
the competition.
It
The
could be.
competition has
Competition.
been.
You know.
Actually, it kind of doubled because all that happened. It looks like Rory and Maul, the two
have
people
their
that
own
left,
now,
they
right.
looks like they might have a little spin off, and Joe is still thriving forward here. So all he did
So
was
now there's
Yeah.
3. Now there's 3.
I kind of just upped it.
We'll get there.
Damn. Like, what was the shit? Mogwai fucking. We get them wet. They multiply type shit. Yeah, gremlins. Yeah.
Get them wet. Yeah.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah. But I mean, you like I said, you'll have 3 podcasts to listen to now.
I'm
4
probably
if
gonna
you
listen.
count
I'm
ours.
gonna listen. I'm gonna probably just listen to them all.
Yeah?
I'm gonna continue to listen to
That's
them all.
dope.
I mean, I don't know. I'll find the time, and also when there's not enough time, I break up the time segments. Like
Yeah.
I won't finish it all at one sitting.
Yeah.
I'll come back to it and finish it.
Kind of what people do to our show, I think too.
Probably so.
Yeah.
That's why I don't care about the time length.
Yeah.
I don't like when we have a shorter show. Really care
Well,
about time.
we don't. We just chop them up now. We go let it
Yeah.
be live. Get our shit on. Get everybody in and get everybody to do what they do. And I do appreciate it, guys. If you are on right now or see us right now, the link did change from what I sent earlier today. Apologies. We will fix that next week as per usual. That's my spiel. Please
That's like the
share video.
tagline. We'll fix this shit next week.
Right. Really, that is the new tagline. Share this link. We won't be like Kevin Samuels and just sit here till y'all get on. We will do a live show, get it going no matter who's watching, because you can always watch the replay whenever you want on YouTube. Steve,
Yes,
you
sir.
got a put on today, sir.
Yeah, I definitely do. Man.
All right. Mike, you cue the graphic.
I'm sorry, I was pouring my drink. I'm over here.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm over here wilding.
Fire.
Here you go.
That's a good picture of you.
I appreciate it.
It really
Thank you.
is.
You know what I mean? Thank you, Claude. Thank you.
That shit trash.
Whatever.
I think you took the pictures. Salute to you for the graphics. Maybe Guru
Yeah,
did.
our subscribe graphics covering your beautiful face, Mike. If you wanna take it down now, so everybody can see that you're in a Roach Motel.
I'm not in a Roach Motel, bro. You guessed. You literally is like, where the fuck you at? I'm in a Marriott, bro.
All right.
All right.
All right, Steve.
To put on, like, I don't really know exactly how I feel about this, and I really wanted y'all opinion on what it was. But so when it got brought to my attention that Airlines could soon be starting a starting before getting on the flight. So that actually, but before I go to the question, it's actually, you know what I'm saying, it could be kind of good and kind of helpful and get people back focused on their diet and fitness and whatnot.
Hold on,
but they're gonna be shamed on the plane.
I feel like we're probably his fattest friends, and he literally brought this up to us. Like, you trying to tell us something?
Everybody, no, like
yeah. I was talking this story to a few people because the one I seen it on Twitter. It was posted with your boy from Why Did I Get Married when he made Jill Scott. Like I seen that shit, I died laughing. Right. So get your shit off, Steve.
Yeah. So thank you, Steve, for I'm trying, man. I'm actually down 6 pounds, but can they weigh us? Is there a legitimate reason for it? Does it say is there a legitimate reason why they're doing it?
That's what I was looking for. The legitimate reason why.
Probably got something to do with gas.
Maybe with just safety, which I don't know what matter of fact, I tell you what, maybe with less weight on the plane, maybe you can add more weight to the what you carry on your carry-ons. Maybe.
So what happens though? Do they charge you more?
I don't know. They're gonna you gotta pay like you weigh.
No, that don't make sense because a person pays more than a bag would cost. You know what I mean? Like it would be more cost effective to have more people.
You think this is You think this is like maybe fat shaming? You think they targeting certain people other than like the bigger community?
Yo, what up, Melissa?
As a nigga's about to hop on a plane, I feel attacked. I feel very attacked.
Have you ever been offered an extendo on your seat on the plane?
No, man, it ain't that serious.
Wait, so he's never been offered that, but I remember when we were going to Nebraska that one time, you were getting stressed out. Remember that? Like you couldn't get the it was the strap was stuck. It wasn't like
it was stuck under the armrest.
Stuck under the armrest. So
it was stuck under the armrest.
Damn, I got to pay $50 for an extendo.
I had a window. I had a window seat, and the shit was stuck under the armrest. But it's all good.
I feel you. Honestly, it's clearly targeting fat people because why does it matter? What are you gonna?
Oh, I figured it out. What? Smaller people means more people can get on the airplane, so more ticket prices. That's some bullshit.
How many big people big enough to have 2 seats are actually getting on the plane and buying 2 seats? Is that like a regular thing?
I
don't think it's a 2-seat thing.
I have heard though that I've heard people having to be forced to buy 2 seats. If you're that big,
damn,
right? I mean, I'm sure we all heard that. I don't know anyone.
That's what happened to Jill Scott on the movie. They was telling her to buy 2 seats, and her husband's like, "I ain't buying 2 seats for her big ass."
I mean, honestly though, let's be real. So let's put everything in perspective. So babies of a certain age got to have a seat. Dogs got to have a seat. Certain items that are carry-ons, you have to pay more if they're coming onto the plane. So if you do wait more, if all things being equal, which we know it isn't, but if we just in a vacuum, that actually kind of makes sense. But they're gonna get more shit for it in the long run. I think there's no way. Studies show that people of a certain weight that are comfortable in their weight tend to be more boisterous and straightforward and like they staunchy about things. You tell a big person that you got to weigh them before they get onto a plane. Already the person behind the counter don't give a fuck about you. So it's just going to be this combative
I think
environment.
And also what they're going to do, they got to set a weight. They can't let
they
got to set one.
Yeah.
Because you can't just, I don't know, imagine like a 1 weight slide and they just so happen might be because honestly weight, it varies. Like someone might look bigger than they actually weigh. So what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna
weigh everybody.
It's gonna
weigh everybody.
I would be if I was there.
There has to be a weight if you're gonna get cut off and not allowed on the plane. There got to be a weight cut off, like whatever weight that is.
It's a height requirement on shit. So I mean, it would be kind of.
But do you think
you know who? I know. If this shit happened, it would be me. It would be me.
Like height requirement, like on Rise at the
Rise
fair.
at Disney.
You don't want your kids slipping up under.
Well, it's even older too, because I can get decapitated if
or even that. So you got to worry about your own safety. Like you got to protect yourself. You can't lose a person because they were too small, slipped up under the damn ride because they're too short or too tall, get decapitated. I mean, hell, they got clearances on garages. You can't drive through the McDonald's line.
Right.
What's the height of the thing, Mike? What's the height on the McDonald's line when you can't drive through?
5'9", nigga. I don't know.
It's like 10 or 11 feet.
Oh, I see what you did. Fuck you, bitch.
You would have no problem with me. I just think just not before we get too into the minutia on this, I just think
that was a good
I'm
one.
just trying to find out the reason why. I know it's going to cause them problems because I know there's going to be one person behind the ticket line that's going to be like, let me guess your weight, 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 guess your weight. You know,
it's gonna be
in the end of the day, it's gonna turn
the funny guy roasting people gonna be there all of a sudden.
Right. It's gonna definitely turn into a fucking carnival show. But damn. So is that a definite thing you think, or is that?
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too.
I really hope not. It sounds very discriminatory, and I personally don't like it.
Yeah.
Let them people ride the plane, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, don't weigh me, please don't weigh me. Although I'm gonna be a little bit slimmer in a few months anyway when I have to fly to Vegas. So hopefully, fingers.
What happened when you maximum slim 6-pack and they still weigh you because tall people still can hold weight?
Tall people are still big. I'm always gonna be 250. I'm never gonna be less than 250 pounds. Ever.
That's not true. If you could.
And be healthy.
Yeah. Claude, you could do it, bro. I believe in you.
Man, I was 218 pounds at 6'5" once, and I look like a toothpick. Y'all look it up. Y'all know me. Melissa, you saw me back then. Back in high school, I was a skinny person.
What's happening right now?
I don't know. I think somebody who knows me from back in the day is on the chat. I'm just saying, remember back in the day, I was overly skinny at 200 and something pounds. But what up, Destiny? Thank you, Steve. We'll be on the lookout for that. I hope airlines really don't do that.
Yeah, I hope so not. Let's not. That's not a good look. Don't do that. That's a no-go for me.
All right. Y'all gentlemen ready to get into the mix? Mike's got the graphic cued.
Of course I do.
Mike should have had the
Bam. You know what? I'm so glad. Obviously, Mariah Carey don't watch this because we haven't gotten sued yet. For that.
Is that where that's from?
That is from that. It's from the Mixed Dish, which you refuse to watch because you're too dark for it. That he literally said, "No, I'm too dark for that. I can't watch Mixed Dish at all." Why are you looking like that? All right, guys. So today, everybody.
Wait. You know the kid where people be doing all this weirdo shit, and he just be sitting there with a straight face, like pouring the shit or whatever he do. He on TikTok. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead with your shit, Claude.
Hold on, sorry, I'm sending somebody. Hey, would you do me a favor, Mike? Would you get on? Coach Carmen is asking about the show. Would you get on to our IG and send her the link to the YouTube for me real quick?
Right away, brother. I got you.
Thank you.
Coming up next is Claude within the
She
mix.
wants to contribute here. 1 second. Just let her know technical difficulties, and we'll get her in here. So, guys, I want to talk a little bit about. It's ironic that my segment is called "In the Mix" because I want to talk about interracial relationships. It kind of spurred me. Actually, Destiny is actually on right now watching us. I had a conversation. You know, Destiny from She's Got Something to Say, one of the podcasts that our studio produces.
Y'all shout out the episode from this week.
Actually, Steve and I are actually on this week's episode, and we talk about with guy code versus girl code, or girl code versus girl code, and we determined that girl code is trash.
I mean, they would have to listen to get the whole outcome of the show. But
you got to go over there.
Right.
I think we held it down.
We did a good thing. It was fun. It was fun doing something without Mike. I think I kind of came to that. It was fun doing something without Mike. Like,
even though he's always here with us in spirit.
I know it's.
He's here with us in spirit.
But anyhow, Destiny, I had.
It's because I stopped your shine. It's because I'm too dark, and you don't know what to do with that.
We are literally like a color wheel. If it starts with me, then Steve, then you. It is pretty nice.
But that's cool as long as y'all all shine. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call y'all my sons, because y'all shine like one.
Jesus Christ. Anyhow, Destiny and I had a conversation a few months back about interracial relationships, or about she made a comment about how she doesn't feel. She feels the type of way whenever she sees a black guy with a white girl, even though herself has dated white guys, and we'll maybe get her on to talk about that later. But it got me thinking about interracial relationships, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. And then it just so happened that Dr. Umar Johnson came on and did his thing on Breakfast Club at the same time, and we like to let the gatekeepers get it out there first before we get on it. But we'll talk about him a little bit later. But I just wanted to obviously, surprise, I can ask the question: have the host of the Pour Up podcast ever engaged in an interracial relationship?
No.
Wait.
Yes.
Yes, of course you have.
Technically.
I've indulged in other minorities.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I said.
Like, I dated Hispanics.
All right, so
and I'm currently in a relationship with a Hispanic.
So
all right, I think I better get my point out. But I will say this now.
Get it off.
I'm gonna say this now, and I'll probably revisit as we get into it. Do I see anything wrong with dating a white girl or whatever the case is, outside race in general? No, I don't, me personally. But have I ever dated a white girl? I just haven't.
You ever smashed a white girl?
Yeah, I might have partaken. You know what I'm saying? I've indulged before. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta indulge a little bit.
Okay. Because I think Umar's point was not, he says it's not about just white people. He said not about white women, but he keeps talking about the snow bunny crisis, and we'll get into a little bit more later. I'll explain what that is. But he kind of makes it like it's white because they were once our colonizers, as Charles Mendenhall would say. But generally speaking, so you and Mike, you're dating a Hispanic girl,
Of course, Mexican.
but you never actually dated a white girl.
No.
All right, so I'll be the odd man out. I have dated lots of white women.
You have been the odd man out.
I've been the odd man out. Is that what you said? Thank you.
Yeah.
I would say if I had to flip a coin, one side being white, one side being black, I'm gonna land on the white side more times in my history. But I have dated a couple black girls, literally a couple too. Shout out to them; they know who they are.
They don't want to be shouted out.
They don't want to be shouted out.
Not by
Not at all.
They want to be
Not
the fuck out of this.
all. But so, all right, so is it a preference though? So was it more like, all right, so question I should ask this. When you decide, what made you decide that, hey, I'm gonna date outside my race?
Me personally, they were just there. Like you date kind of what's around you, and the spots I was going to when I dated outside my race, which honestly was once. It just happened.
Wait, has it only ever been once? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh damn, I got to tell you that. She was actually a dark Latina. I thought she was black. That's
Okay.
one of the times I didn't know there was like black.
Black Cubans.
Black Cubans. I know that Dominicans are, but
huge.
I was like, but at the time, it just wasn't. I thought Mike was with me actually. No name
Yeah,
Mike. I
yes.
said.
No, I won't do that to you.
Nah.
No, the person just presented hard like
I just
African
thought she
American.
was black. Like she was with She was with a black girl. I just ran down on what I thought was a black girl.
Yeah,
but come to find
And then
out,
she responded in Spanish.
Cuban
Yeah,
and shit.
man. Celia Cruz has that song. I named that too. That's the. You didn't know I could do that, did you?
I don't care what you can do with
you
your
know, I can
tongue.
do
What did you do? What was that?
I said something in Spanish and I hit it off. Anyhow, Mike. So you would say.
Whose man
is
is
do it?
You know how many people who are sitting here like, no wonder.
I was actually drinking before y'all showed up today. I got a little tipsy. I am drinking the 32 ounce over here today, y'all.
Did you buy the full Rosetta Stone to practice that one line for the show?
I literally, that's the only thing I know how to say. So
Wow.
Mike, so what about you? So was it more of like an opportunity, or like what made you date outside your race?
If we're calling Latino outside my race,
Latina is outside your race, homie.
I enjoy Latinas as much as I enjoy my sisters. I like them both. The cultures cross over. So for me, it's not dating outside my race.
Yeah.
And
Explain.
because as you know, most Hispanics, their culture kind of goes lock and step with ours, similar upbringing, struggles, religions, etc. So for me, I don't.
In Florida, that's pretty true. Like in Florida.
Oh yeah, that's where I live. So even though I'm in the Ville right now, but
I got you.
yeah. But an opportunity for my girlfriend now is I met her where I met her, where there were tons of available white women, but I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. Dated lots of black women. I got my sons with a black woman, but my girlfriend current is the one I met when I met her. So what about you? Let's flip it back on you.
I'm gonna answer that question, but Steve said opportunity. You date who's around you. So for me, I've always and I have to always say this because I always get this negative image of me that I only date white girls. I only ever dated white girls, whatever. I've always been attracted to every race girl, and I have dated every single race girl. Literally every single race girl. But for me, growing up, the black girls didn't like me as much. So if I gotta just be candid, the black girls didn't like me as much. I mean, it was the '90s. You know,
I was popping in the '90s.
You were popping in the '90s, but you also had kid and play backwards pants and dreads.
I had hair. I didn't have the pants backwards.
Hold up. You ain't have your jersey or pants backwards.
Oh, jerseys. That was high school actually, but
okay.
I never threw on my pants.
You know what I meant.
It wasn't Kid and Play. It was Nelly. Get it right.
And I never felt the need to have my zipper on my butt area. I never thought I needed that.
No, I got you on that. 100%. 100%.
Why you need your pants unbuttoned from the back?
But I actually
you lucky because I was gonna get it.
Oh, you're killing me. I actually grew up with a lot of black girls. Actually, I grew up with the black girls in my neighborhood because I'm from the hood. I know y'all laugh at me when I say that, but I am from the hood, and I grew up with primarily black girls. There were no white people in my neighborhood. We used to live in the Greenwood Apartments, which was called the Projects, and literally we moved 3 blocks away from that into a house that was basically on the edge of the hood. So I grew up around black girls, and I was always attracted to black girls, and I always wanted to date black girls. But my mom always had this stupid insistence that you don't speak with slang, you don't speak Ebonics, you don't sag your clothes. Like she shopped at fucking Montgomery Wards. I had to wear like my mom kind of like wanted me to have this like proper
Black Republican look.
Black Republican type look, type thing, even though we were diehard Democrats. And I went to mostly white schools with maybe 16% minority. So not even 16% black, 16% minority. So that's you know what I'm saying. And so it was kind of like you said, what's
your
around
upbringing
you
makes me want to swirl my drink. But go ahead, continue.
What you want to swirl your drink?
The way you describe your life, I gotta swirl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Also, it makes me want to play very sad music, like violin, teardrop music.
All I'm saying is that I feel personally that my experience with black girls pushed me to other races.
Okay, what were your experiences though? Because you just said
cue the sad music.
So far, all I heard was how black women stopped you from going to black women.
Black women didn't like me,
but because you think it's because of what you wore.
I have no idea. Yeah, I will say that had to do with. I mean, I'm saying we were from the '90s. Hood was in the '90s.
I disagree though.
All right, go ahead.
Because I didn't dress fully like that. I wasn't fully with like the Doc Martens and the khakis.
You've always been a comedian.
But I can code switch. My grandfather taught English for many. I'm gonna get to it. Let me finish my point. Code switching in the sense of I speak very proper. I grew up in the hood in West Tampa and was always told I spoke proper. But my grandfather taught English, so that was something that was a baseline requirement. I could speak slang too, but to the point, I dated lots of black women like this. It's I don't know. I'm not saying I don't even know what the criticism is of you or why it doesn't work for you, because I've seen it in action. But for me, it's never been a problem.
You've seen me talk to black girls in action. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you communicate with and be around black women, and I just think your flavor's a little different.
Okay.
And I know I listen to hip hop and shit too, but I'm saying we had a similar upbringing in a lot of ways, and
right. So
it never been an issue for me.
It was never for me like, oh, I just don't date black. It was never. I was so at my inception. It was literally I'm dating everybody, and black girls around me, so I'm going to date what's around me. Like you said, what's available to me, and what was available to me was not feeling me. So by the time I got to high school, I mean, I went to a public school, and it was, once again, 16% minority, mostly white. I was in all the honors classes, and this is not knocking my brothers and sisters, but the percentage of classes that had people that look like me in there, it was pretty low. So now I'm actually being segmented from my people. And once again, the same girls with the high school that were actually I grew up with, they just weren't feeling me. They weren't feeling me, whatever it was. And I go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, that's not a cut off. Go ahead.
How you think that same plight would be for someone who isn't attracted to the opposite race, and how bad that would suck? Because whereas at least you still got to date and interact with white women and things, or white girls at that point. What if about the other kid who just isn't even attracted to that, so they're just by themselves the whole time? Because that would really suck.
Do you think that actually happens though, or do you think that people tend to assimilate to?
I don't know. It could happen. Like, let's say someone mom could easily tell them don't bring a white girl home. So that's
I got that.
You got don't.
Oh yeah, I sure as shit got don't bring a white girl home.
But yet, according to the story you gave, unless I'm wrong, you was almost being pushed to that though.
Isn't that ironic?
It's very ironic. I don't understand.
Let's call Marion right now and ask her about that. No, let's not do that. Yeah, but no, it's irony.
I'm surprised you.
I didn't know why you would even bother your mother like Mr. James ain't around.
My mom is married to Jesus. I'm gonna tell you that every episode. Married to Jesus.
Sister, you got the wrong J.
Sister Mary Marion. Sister Mary Marion.
You got the wrong J.
She gotta have it and everything. Okay. So yeah, it's ironic, and I think. Do you think that my situation is common or uncommon?
Honestly, it's probably common. It's just uncommon that I ran into it, but I can see how that's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to play him.
Yeah. Pick a side, Steve.
No.
If I gotta pick a side,
we ain't never seen it. We just haven't seen it be that. Yeah.
But also, I'll keep it a buck. I've been in school I've been in school a lot of predominantly black schools. And
just to ask you, what was the percentage at your schools?
And there's been like
Blake was 50-50.
It's like, yeah, they're around.
No, like I said, Clearwater High School. I'll put it out there. Clearwater High School. I went to elementary and middle school, and they were actually fundamental school. My mom put me in, like, they're almost like what would be the equivalent of a magnet school today. She put me in those schools because she wanted me to get a quality education. She didn't think that the actual regular public schools were good enough. So she put me out there. And my mom was not rich by no means. My mom was a working class woman. She just happened to get me into these programs. They were all free, whatever, lottery system, whatever it was. Grace of God, I got there. And it was just the percentages. Now, the irony, though, is so crazy, though, because there were other black guys with me. And they all ended up with black women. Actually, my homeboy, Sente, he was Hispanic and black. So he kind of went both ways, but he was with a black girl. So
wait, did you just debunk your whole point?
I did debunk my whole point now, didn't I? So now I'm going back. So you did a good segue, Mike. Thank you. So do you think sometimes when we tend to step outside of our race, is it more preference, or is so it's back to the nature versus nurture? Is it a preference thing, or is it this is what was around me and this is what accepted me?
Me personally,
do you think I have more of a preference towards white women, or do you think that it was more of that's what actually went out with me?
I think preferences are built out of. Go ahead, Steve.
No, my bad. I think it would be hard for either of us to say what your preference is because it's literally your preference. I can say, I can't say what I think your preference is. I do.
Man, you've been around him 10 years. We know what his preference is.
Mike, put it out.
At that time, we're talking about that time. I really don't know. You said at that time, I don't know. What I do know is though, whatever you do, it's a choice. Like you don't like even if that's what you super desired. You didn't have to do it. And not saying you're not wrong for it neither. I don't think you're wrong for it. But do I think it's a choice? Sure. What your preference is, maybe you do prefer a white woman over a black woman. Maybe that is what you prefer. I don't know.
I will say this to the point I was going to make was I think your preferences kind of are born out of your experiences. Where you were more successful, you're going to lean towards that. And not that, let's say, for instance, I'll date the fuck out of a dark-skinned woman. But if you look through the list of my exes, there ain't many dark-skinned women in there because lighter-skinned women prefer me. And that's just what I had great success with. So I could see why Claude's preference now will be born out of lack of success with black women and lots of success with white women. And I think at this age, especially, well, not even at this age, at any age in your, let's say, post-high school years, you already know where you stand with who you stand with. Like I'm not gonna slide up on no Becky, right? In any era. You remember us right after high school, goatee Tims, fitted caps, baggy pants, and all that. Becky not bringing me home to her father. Well, it became that later, but in our
you just described me yesterday.
In our in our during our high school years, that wasn't what it was. That wasn't like it wasn't as accepted as it is now.
What was the message at home for y'all? Because for me, it wasn't not don't bring a white girl home, but it was my mom always said she doesn't understand how races can mix. Obviously, now that she has a biracial child, just if y'all don't know, my wife is white, my child is biracial. Now she's a biracial grandchild. It was something that we had to work through, kind of, sort of. But I didn't bring my white wife, I didn't bring my white fiance to my mom until we were literally engaged. So
was that out of fear of her response?
I didn't give a shit what she cared, what her response would be. It was just. It was more along the lines of I'm not gonna bring anybody. I'm not gonna bring bullshit to it was twofold. I'm not gonna bring bullshit to my mom. Number one, that's why she never met anybody that I ever dated because I didn't necessarily feel that the people that I dated would be worthy of my mother, and also because that if I was gonna bring a white girl home to my mom, I sure as shit had to make sure that she was a BLM t-shirt wearing, fist in the air, like literally like down woke 100%, no Becky type, because my mom would literally call me out and then all my family's going to call me out. So it was something that it was purposeful. Y'all all know my wife. She's not your average white girl. She looks like it, but she's not your average white girl. So at your home,
I know mad white girls just like her.
Huh? You do?
Yeah, I know mad white
girls.
So
she is your average white girl?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. She's Steve Cash's.
Again, not trying to be funny, or I wasn't trying to play neither. But fact, the white
I didn't.
The white women, again, because Mike could probably agree. The white girls that we grew up with and went to our schools, they know they bailed them down too. They know what's right and wrong because we all grew up together. They know all black people now, whatever the media may portray, they know that ain't true. So They see the injustice. Someone trying to play you when I say I know mad women, but I truly do know mad white girls.
But so we all know. But hold on, answer my question though. What was the message at home about?
In my home, how I grew up, I could have brought home anything. My mom let me know from the jump, as long as they treat you right. My mom literally would say, I don't care if she's purple and green. And when I was a kid, I always wondered like, why, like there's literally no one purple or green, so why do you keep using those colors?
You don't understand the sentiment,
right? But I understand as an adult, but when I was a kid, I like I just said, that's quick memory lane.
Right, and I will say my mom was by no means someone that was like, don't bring a white girl home, but I knew it was going to be side eye. She truly believed that how can two people of opposite races
backtrack.
No, hold on, because she might watch this. My mom found our YouTube page when I was over there for Mother's Day, and I was like, oh crap. So I got to make sure that I don't misrepresent her. She used to believe that could not understand, and she finally has come out and said that this is for her only, not everybody else. But she doesn't understand how you can have anything in common with somebody that was brought up so culturally different. Now, me and my wife are.
That's where I live.
Well, who's to say they grew up culturally different?
What do you mean?
Me or Steve?
Unless you go and get them.
Right. So I agree with you.
Unless you do that.
So my wife and I grew up very culturally different in the sense that I didn't have dogs living in the house like they were humans. I didn't live in the woods and the bumpkins and I didn't call soda pop and shit like that. But we were both poor growing up. She both has racist family members that she resents and rebukes and refutes.
Salute to them. I don't rebuke none of them. They work on the show anytime.
She has, since she was a kid, that's what she did. So her and I actually do surprisingly have a lot in common, even though we literally grew up in two separate worlds. Like she's from country Ohio. I'm from what would we call it? What would hood suburban Florida? I don't know. Whatever I grew up in. So it is possible. But Mike, what were you saying?
Hell, I don't remember at this point. But to answer the earlier question, my mother will say a similar statement to what Steve's mom was saying. It as a statement, it wasn't stated, "Don't bring home no white girl," but because I know my mother, we're open people. We know a lot of people. She wouldn't have a problem at all. She would accept anybody I brought home that I liked. However, the general energy that the family might give, we show up to the family reunion or to the barbecue, may be a general lack of knowledge or understanding. That aside, my own personal, and I never dated a white woman. I don't have anything against white women. I've even slept with some, but I feel like a relationship requires a lot of understanding inherently because relationships are hard enough as they are, that I don't feel like trying to overcome the obstacles of race and all that with it. And where I say, I date a Latina, I feel like those struggles have similar paths to where, when I tell her as a black man, I feel a certain way. I feel like, this is how I see a certain thing. I don't even have to explain it to her because she lived it. And that's just inherent in the Latinos that I've commiserated with and all the black women I've commiserated with.
So I'm going to segue to something else, Mike. Staying on this topic, I found an article by somebody I've just discovered. I don't know if she's on. I messaged her early. I wanted to have her on the show. Maybe I'll get her on the show. Her name is Ashley Simone Johnston. She's Syracuse University. Worked for Equal Time, one of their newsletters out there, and she actually works for Insider. I think Insider Magazine or Insider Online now. Ashley Simone Johnston, very talented writer. Read a couple articles of hers. Kind of a fanboy now, but she wrote an article titled 6 Questions to Ask Yourself Before Starting an Interracial Relationship. And I think it's more geared because she is black and she is a lesbian, so she is in a same, I think she does same, obviously she's a lesbian, she's the same sex relationship, but I think it does still equate to heterosexuals as well. So quick checklist, I'm gonna go through it real quick and then we'll get on to the next segment, next part of the segment. So question number 1, when you're looking to get into a interracial relationship, question number 1 that you ask, do they understand their privilege? So when I look at that, it's kind of one of those things, if I tailor it to my relationship, it's, do they understand it? I think the answer is probably going to always be at first, what would you say, no?
I without me being white, I don't think they understand. I don't think they would understand.
Right. Mike? No.
I don't believe that's something that comes inherent. They would have to live with or be around a fuck ton of black people to really understand where that lays.
Even still, then though, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't change. You can't literally take off your skin and then put on another person's skin. Ooh, I don't know what happened. Oh, I lost it. I'm back. I don't think you can literally take off somebody's skin and then put on somebody else's skin. You know, so it's kind of one of those things that it's not. They're not going to ever understand that at the beginning. You know, but I think the whole point of that is the willingness to learn. What'd you say?
I mean, sure, if they're willing to learn, you can possibly work towards something. If they're open-minded enough to understand and want to understand. All
right, so this is a biggie, and this is something that I've been struggling with, just to put that out there, not to bring down the mood of the show, because this is a drinking show. I'll drink while I say it. It is, does their, or I will throw out, says, will their family accept the person of a different race?
I mean, well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even think so. I don't know. I don't think they will fully. Someone down the whole family, no, the entire family. If you said family, so
there's gonna be one person
from the father down to the brother, the grandkids. Somebody gonna be a little gonna probably hold a little bit of resentment or a little bit of resilience to that the word resilience.
Resentment?
No, y'all used that one already.
Resilience.
Sure, that one. We can go with that.
Let me ask you this.
That ain't it. But I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
I mean, our listeners understand Steve's tongue.
Yeah, his heavy misdirected tongue. Let me ask a question though, because both of y'all dated in serious relationships. If you don't mind me saying, Hispanic, no names. Hispanic.
Oh yeah. I said
so no white, but Hispanic, different race, different culture generally. Did you feel accepted by their family?
I personally did.
Yeah, Mike.
I got some friction initially, but that was from older people in the family. But yeah, everybody else was like,
if you don't
cool,
mind,
whatever.
If you don't mind, explain a little bit. What do you think? What do you think the friction? What was the friction, and why do you think it was? I'm not interviewing you. You're on the other side, so I feel like you're. I got to interview you now.
No, that's cool.
You don't have to say it if you don't want to.
I don't mind. I truthfully, and I'm not saying this to dodge the question. I'll answer it as intended, but I'll first say the truth. I think a lot of it had to do with just inexperience with boyfriends being brought home and the age gap, 4 years apart. But with a little bit of sprinkle, it felt a little race based. You know, I'm sure they was a little bit surprised my black ass showed up. And I just think if you find Latinos of a certain age and also from a different geography, LA Latinos might feel different than Florida ones because there's beef out there in history. Like, you know, both live in kind of low income and in inner cities. We butt heads a lot in the Cali area. And these Mexicans were from Texas. And I don't know what their full experience was, but it might have been a lack of experience. But I will say this, of the two parents, the dad who goes to work and works with a lot of black folks was cool and fine or whatever, who you thought the dad might have been the one applying pressure, but the mom was just a little bit not informed as to that. But she was cool right away within 5-10 minutes, if that makes sense.
Like, how'd you get her cool though, Mike? Like, did you try to explain like how much you loved her? Like, you was like, listen, I would get on my knees and like let her get on my back and jump over the wall to come here type of love?
They're all Americans.
Would you get on your hands and knees?
Would I give a Mexican a boost? Yes.
Like, get on your hands and knees so she can stand on your back and jump over the wall.
Yes, I would. I would give a Mexican. I would give a Mexican a boost, help him out, and throw him a job if it was necessary. But
if you're driving past Home Depot, and you need some roofing done, and you had a choice to pick up, like, are you picking them up or are you going to the or are you going to hire another crew?
I make an opportunity with the hiring, so I'll just say that as a business owner, and I'll leave it at that.
Crazy. That's crazy.
All right,
not finna get me. But Claude, you didn't hear the tail end of what I said, but basically, I'm not going to recap the answer. But I just felt like there were a lot of contributing factors, and within 10 to 15 minutes, that was easily dispelled. And to answer Steve's other question indirectly, it was just a simple explanation. You raise your daughter to be discerning and know who's who and who's good for her, and she picked me, and you know what I'm saying, accept your boy, and they accepted me.
All right, so before I go on to, because I think there are a couple guests that do want to get on in this before we get into our
I'll throw the links out now.
Throw them out to everybody. So I did want to ask, because part of that, there were actually 6 questions, but I'm going to actually jump to the number 4. I think it's number 4, and I'm going to kind of forget the other rest because they're kind of odd. They're, no disrespect, actually. They're not as juicy. But there was one thing in there that the question said, number 4 was, am I being fetishized?
Are you or she?
So when you're in the interracial relationship and you're the race, I guess the other person would also. Yeah, you're right. But obviously, I think in this scenario, it's black and white. Let's just say black and white, or let's, for example, say black and white or Hispanic and black. The question: am I being fetishized? Do you
most likely the minority is to be fetishized? Most likely.
Why do you say that?
Because a fetish usually is to use some words, and I'm treading lightly on the words, but a deviancy from the normal, it's abnormal. So whereas there are tons of white people, as a minority, we are already in the lower category, not lower as in positional, but lower as in numbers. And it's more likely that you would be fetishized if you fit a unique category. Say, for instance, if somebody was like, I like dudes with guts, and they were just really about that shit. I'm like, this seems like a fetish more than you just being interested, you know?
So is that an issue though? Because I kind of don't. So I've seen a couple different articles that talk about fetishizing, and there was actually a porn star. I forget her name, and I wish I could remember it. Don't look at me like that.
I'm waiting for that.
I don't remember her name. I don't remember. It's like Janice.
I don't need her name right now.
It's like Janice or something like that. But she talked about fetishizing in the porn industry about mixed races. So she actually is biracial, but she doesn't tell people what her race is because she's afraid of being fetishized. I don't really have a problem with it. Like, if a chick wants me because I am black, and at the end of the day, don't call me an inappropriate name while we're doing a deed. But also, if you like me, if you are turned on by the fact that I'm a different race as you, I don't really see the problem.
What if she don't call you names, but she wanted to role play? Like, she wants you like dressed up in like torn up clothes and come out of the shed and into
like
the house.
A puffy shirt with like
no torn up, a slave,
like
not puffy, no,
with
not
with like a belt. That's
no. I'm trying to paint the picture, but you're adding on.
Yeah, why you trying to beat him to the punch?
This is what we do. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you said it because that is what y'all do?
No, that's not what we do. No, definitely not.
You just told on yourself?
No.
He spilled the beans.
If it's just so everybody knows, if I'm role playing, it's either Star Trek or Star Wars. I don't give a shit what y'all think about that. Just whatever. Go ahead.
That doesn't help the case why you like white women.
You do not make that girl wear Leia braids.
No, I don't.
I was about to be upset for you. Matter of fact, let me send a text.
Nah, but for real. But would you be
text
cool?
My wife.
Would you be cool if she wanted you to role play? If she wanted to role play, but she wanted you to wear like a slave cut up shirts, maybe ripped up in the back from where the whip would have been cracking in that ass.
Oh my god!
And come
you mean like Kanye gear?
That type of.
Wear some Yeezy gear.
And you walk in barefoot and everything, and in shackles.
That's incredibly offensive. So no, I would not.
But she's not calling you the name.
Yeah, but
the shackles too far. Without the shackles? Without the shackles.
I probably wouldn't be down. That would feel off. Would you do that?
I'm not dating white women, Claude.
No, but you are dating her. Oh, that's true. I just want to let you know, Spain colonized Florida, and they definitely had African slaves.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
So both of y'all, Spain colonized Florida, and they definitely had African slaves. So, anywho,
my girlfriend's Mexican.
What do you think? Never mind.
I don't have either one.
We won't go there.
Hey, you want to talk about the Aztecs? We can talk about Aztecs, bro. We can talk about the Mayan Empire and all that.
Did somebody come in, Mike?
Yeah, we about to throw in. I didn't know how you want to introduce.
I don't know who it is. You gotta tell me who it is.
That's Melissa. It's your friend. Introduce her like she coming into the game.
I will. All right. So this is somebody I went to high school with. Played basketball with my cousin.
You played basketball with them?
No, I did not play. She's a female. I definitely did not play on the female basketball team. Although I probably would dominate. That's not a joke. That's a joke.
Honestly, I don't believe.
This introduction is going off the rails.
What up, Mel?
Hi guys.
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So introduce yourself, Melissa. Might want to introduce you, but I can't.
You in the Ville and I'm in Nashville.
Oh,
I'm actually in the Ville. Somehow the app switched to shits, but salute.
Yeah, what's up? So what's up, Melissa? How you doing?
Mike finna indulge in his first white girl.
God.
Welcome to the Port Podcast.
I tried to have Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, look, my wife.
I do. Chance the rapper ass nigga. Yes.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Melissa, let me ask real quick because I know you want to talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. We'll get to that in real quick here in a second. But
I don't want to talk about him. But
okay.
Continue.
So you are a white woman, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Do you date? Do you date outside of your race?
I've never dated a white man. I've only ever dated black men.
I knew that, and so why is that?
I just am drawn to. Can I? Let me just.
There's nothing that you can't
say. You want to say it, don't you?
Nothing you can't
say. I'm attracted to say it. Say it.
Hold up, wait a minute. So I went to an all-white school all the way through 8th grade. Like from preschool through 8th grade, I was in private school, all white people. And my parents gave me the choice to go to a public school or private school. And I was like, oh, I need like something else. I need like diversity. No sooner did I say that my freshman year of high school, I'm like shutting my locker door, and around the corner walks the most gorgeous human being I've ever seen.
Who was it?
Was it Claude?
No, it was definitely wasn't me. No. I wouldn't have. She's a year younger than me. Who was it?
I can't say it. You know
yes,
him.
You
Everyone knows him. People know.
Message me who. Message me who. Oh, okay. I got you.
You want to know if you thought he was cute too?
No, go ahead.
So, anyways, that was it. Like, I was just like, wow. Like,
wait. So you weren't attracted to black men. Obviously, in high school, you're like 14 years old. There was no attraction before that point?
I had never really been around that. Only when I started to play basketball on like AAU basketball teams and stuff, where like I was playing with girls that were of all different races, but we were still at all girls basketball tournaments. And then we started to get like summer camps, and like obviously there's just more people there, but it wasn't until I don't know why. I just that moment, and I never turned back. But you know my best friend Kristen.
Yes, I do. Shout out to Kristen.
When we go to the club, she's black, I'm white. I swear to God, forever and ever, amen. You can pop her on this podcast. The white men beeline to her, and black men have always come to me.
Is she dating a black guy now, though?
Huh?
Is she dating a black guy right now, though?
He is white, but he's Cuban.
I see.
So, but he has white skin.
I see.
So I don't know.
White presenting.
So, but yeah,
that's what they call it.
My story. So, I made out with a white guy.
How was that?
I like how it was like an anomaly.
I'm not anti. I love all the flavors.
But you mean that black people put on their food?
Of people, of humans.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't sure. Sorry.
Shades, all different, everybody, but they just.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cooking.
So, Melissa, refresh my memory. Have you ever dated outside of black? Have you ever dated any other races too? Hispanic? Just black guys?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you were all in like that. So what is your experience? What is your experience as a white woman dating a black man? Only dating black men. What has your experience been?
The way Steve was just looking at you.
Why are you looking at me like that? Do you have questions?
No, I'm just listening. Yeah. I'm here to learn. I'm just going to sit my.
I mean, I feel like it's the same as if when my other white girlfriends have dated white guys. I mean, it was the same to me. I don't know. They dated guys, they broke up with guys, they cried over guys, a guy cheated on them. Like it's all the same. It was all the same story to me.
Have you ever heard the phrase that black men don't cheat? Have you heard that phrase?
I've heard that phrase.
Is it true?
Thank you, Claude, because I wasn't.
No. Everyone cheats. Men cheat, women cheat, everybody cheats.
Not black men.
That's because you're too busy. You must have dated black boys.
Well, first of all, if I dated you before I turned 30, it don't count. You were a friend. I don't even know who I was. Claude can attest to all of my Facebook messages that I posted 12 years ago. What the actual fuck?
You've been doing something weird when you've been like we're posting shit from like 10, 12 years ago. I would just delete them. That's what I do. I don't let everybody know that existed. That's pretty crazy.
I do. Hilarious.
So have you experienced any issues, any concerns? Like, all right, so one thing that my wife always tells me is that she gets looks. I've never noticed looks, but I also don't give a fuck about what people think of me. Do you get looks or anything?
Yeah, because we're fine as fuck when we step out. That's the only reason why, maybe. I'm like 6'2" when I wear high heels, and the guys that I'm dating are always taller than me, so it could be just that we're tall, but I stare at everybody. People watch everybody. I'm watching it. I don't know. So to me, it's just like people are just looking because people are looking. Or like they're fucking. They're having sex. That's what when I look at people, I'm like, ooh, that's a good look. Like, right. Okay.
Do y'all have a question? I'm gonna ask another one.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna ask a quick question because I do want to get into Dr. Umar Johnson real quick. So he actually made a statement about how he basically said that black men. He calls it the snow bunny crisis. So and basically, first of all, you know what a snow bunny is?
Yes, I've been called it forever and ever on men.
You've been called a snow bunny forever and ever?
She only dates black men, bro. You don't think
that's true?
Whatever.
How do you feel?
Have you ever been called a snow roach?
A snow what?
A snow roach. Have you ever been called a snow roach?
No, what's that?
Oh, okay, just one.
That's like episode 4 or 5. We talk about a snow roach. You got to definitely look into that episode.
People said it behind my back. I didn't hear him, but probably.
So basically, Umar. How do I say this?
He's legit eating.
Basically, Umar says that what you're doing is taking away viable options for black women.
I'm sorry, but every black woman that I've met and my best friend in the whole entire world is black. Do not play the victim. Okay. Those women get what they want. If that's the man that they want, that's what they're gonna have. Black man, white man. I don't like when you pigeonhole black women like they're the victim and they're not gonna have any black guys to date. They are a woman. They're women. They are black women. They're not the victim. They are powerful and they will get whatever the fuck they want. Period.
So you refute the fact that if there are a significant population of black men in prison, if there's a significant population of black men dating other races, then that lessens the population of available black men. Oh, what's up, Amanda? That lessens that lessens the population of viable options for black women that want to only date black men. Again,
whatever his name is in that video,
Umar Johnson.
First things first, I would just want to say thank you for having this. Thank you for having us on the podcast. It's great. Yes. Secondly, we are on a rock that is flying through space at however many thousand miles an hour. None of this shit matters. Nothing, what you're doing, I'm doing, none of this matters. We're flying through space in a galaxy that's bigger than all of us will ever even know. So this is fucking crazy that we're even worried about this kind of shit, honestly. But what he's saying, again, I don't do the victim thing ever, but you guys hit on it earlier. You like who you like. You don't like what you don't like, all the way down to the shoes that are on your feet, all the way down to what you put in your bodies, whether it's a penis or, I don't know, a banana that you're eating. Like, honestly, I don't understand why he's speaking for black women. Why he's speaking for anyone other than, why is he so worried about everyone's dick? He needs to get everyone's dick out of his mouth. He needs to worry about him and himself only and stop worrying about black women and stop speaking on behalf of everybody. Everybody overgeneralizes. I speak about me, Melissa, my experience is that, and that's what he needs to do.
Well, Dr. Umar Johnson is a black activist. He's speaking on that simply because he wants to see black homes. He wants to see black fathers with black mothers and black children. And he also is building a school to help out minorities, predominantly black. But he's speaking on that, whether I'm for or against him. I don't think there's an issue with him speaking up for that. Do I disagree? I disagree with a lot of his messages, and I do agree with you. But I do also feel he does have a lane and a leg to stand on for speaking on this. I do feel that way. I just wanted to say that.
Why?
But Mike, you're probably more aware. I think Mike, unless I'm wrong, Mike, are you aware of Dr. Umar Johnson at all and his thoughts and ideologies? Right. So I don't want his ass to just I'm not finna sit here and just act clueless like I don't know who this man is and I don't ride for some of the shit he says, and then some shit I'm like, yeah, you a little wild, but I feel you some ways and other ways I don't.
So let's do this, and I want to hear and Melissa, thank you so much for commenting. I want to hear you both.
Their hands go on Mike.
They go to prayer hands because this is how you get people to like you. That's why people don't like you. But anyway, I want to hear Amanda's reply to this.
If Dr. one thing from him is he not going to take money from people that are not black? Does he own a business? Does he run a business? Does he charge people to come see him talk? Is he only going to take money from black people and he's not going to take money from me? Or because money's green?
That is correct. I'm sure he does. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, if he's so concerned about
I agree with you in a full, but we also can't act like this America hasn't been based off of racists taking the black dollar as well, even though we can't eat in their restaurants, but also will take our dollar. I can't sit down there, I go around the back and order, but you'll still take the dollar. So I don't think he's doing anything wrong versus what has been done wrong to us for 400 plus years, to be honest. So take the white dollar or Hispanic dollar, sure, because it's going to help us all. It's going to help you in your cause. He will be a fool to not take that money because it's going to help the cause you're trying to get. So I don't fault him for accepting that dollar. And honestly, again, the black dollar or minority dollar is the most powerful dollar because we just stop spending it in certain places overall, even people that stand with us. I believe you stand with us. This isn't like, I do feel you stand with us. So even people that aren't minorities, if we all stood together and took our dollar and put them elsewhere, we could shut down a whole lot of shit. But that's my opinion on, is he going to take the money? He'd be a fool not to.
So Melissa, hold your point, because I know you guys have to say about that. Hold your point. Stay there. Stay there, Melissa. Amanda, Mike, you had something for Amanda?
Yeah, I want her to reply to the conversation. How do you feel about everything that was tossed out here?
First off, before we go there, Amanda, you are biracial,
I
like
am.
Myself.
Black mom, white dad.
Yes. White dad, grew up identified as black or white, or biracial.
Biracial, but if I have to select one on paper, I would say black.
That's because at the end of the day, your skin will never be light enough to not be of some type of shade, and I feel you on that 100%. But your comments?
Do you guys have something you want me to comment on specifically, or just kind of a general thing? Because
most recently, Steve was just saying about the Black dollar and Black communities, and Melissa was questioning Dr. Umar's willingness to receive white money versus criticizing interracial couples or anybody that ain't Black. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm with you guys on that. I think at the end of the day, anyone is going to take anyone's money. They may not be 100% public about it. But I mean, I feel like they're going to take it. But I don't know, to kind of touch on the interracial
because there are allies.
Thing.
There are allies just to help. Like, they're taking the money. We do have allies, and I do look at Melissa as an ally. Obviously, like she said, for one, she only dates Black men. Clearly, I don't.
She'll have Black children someday.
Possibly.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
So she won't have Black kids someday.
Right. So there are allies. So sure, we accept all money, but all people do from.
Yeah, even racists accept our money just from the back door.
That was my
main
Chick-fil-A. No, I'm just joking. They're homophobes, not racist. No, so
you felt
Amanda,
offended, huh?
So shut up. Wow. So Amanda, I did want to ask you. You were on our episode where we talked about the dating pool being diluted. You were kind of the star of the episode. You kind of took over the show. A lot of good reception. No, we do appreciate for you that. But so I want to actually double back real quick to the question of that. Dr. Umar said that, and follow me on this one because it does kind of go off on a tangent. Interracial relationships remove or lessen the pool for Black women to find Black men, which thus lessens the ability for the Black family to continue on and on. As someone, I'm gonna get you to comment on that, but I also want to ask you. You date Black men, white men. What would you say? Everybody has their let's just say for me, let's just say I have a preference in white women because I date more white women than Black women, than Black women. So what would you say that for yourself? And then comment on the.
So majority of the time, I actually date Hispanic men.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Why, oh boy.
I don't know, because we don't have anybody represent the Hispanics except for Mike. I guess Mike represents.
No, we got somebody coming in. You want me to bring him in?
Can you bring him in? Can you bring another person in?
Yeah, of course.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, I was just chatting with the homie. But make your point, Amanda, please.
Hi, Alex. Yeah,
Wait,
I really.
I got fat.
Fat?
No, I'll mess with you.
I don't want to be
roast his ass.
Zero. Go ahead.
Roast his ass.
Go ahead. I'll mess with you.
I don't really like that concept of pulling away from continuing the Black family thing. I can tell you guys, I have been involved in those conversations many times, being biracial, and I'm sure you can understand. I get a little fired up sometimes in those conversations because I don't see anything wrong with being proud of your roots and being proud of being Black. Even me, I'm very, very proud of my Black roots. But I don't, to be honest with you, I feel like sometimes people make race a bigger deal than it needs to be. But then I also understand sometimes it can be complicated. For example, something which, listening to Melissa, I don't think she has this issue, but speaking with other Black men, a lot of them tell me when they date white women, oh, she's with me, but that a lot of the white women they're with don't really understand the struggle of being a Black man. And I can honestly understand that because you know, even me as a biracial woman, I can't say I know what it is to be a full Black woman because people don't see Black when they look at me. But having Black family and growing up around them, I've seen the difference in how other people treat them. So I do feel if someone's going to be interracial dating, especially just in that specific example, when white women date Black men, I think they really need to be aware of what that means. You know, even schooling themselves if they're going to have children on doing ethnic hair, you know, things like that. So I don't know. It's kind of a complicated thing, I think. But then I think sometimes it could be more simple, but people complicate it more than it needs to be. If that makes sense.
So, Ray, so 100% agree with you, but I do have to just kind of across the board for the whole panel there. We hear this thing all the time that people are often people who claim to be allies say things like, "I don't see color," and that is such a. And if you agree with that, you agree with that. You don't, you don't. We don't say that in my household because my wife is white, I'm Black, I got a white son, and I got a biracial daughter. We don't say we don't see color because color is visible. Like Steve is brown, I am brown. This table is brown.
I'm Black, bro.
Jesus Christ. The ceiling is white. The screen right now, because my computer is going down, is blue, and it may never come back up. But those are the colors, and those are things that's there. So you actually do see color. It's a thing. So.
And so does the whole world.
And so does the whole world. So when I know Melissa and I love her, she's a friend, and would you say for 4 years we kind of grew up together in high school. So I obviously, know that you don't feel any type of way about mixed race, or obviously because you date only Black guys, but the world around us does see that, and it's not just and to touch on Steve's point, it's not just Dr. Umar's issue. It's a constant issue amongst a lot of people. I mean, I will say in myself with a mixed race daughter who used to be fair skinned, I took her to Lowe's once, and all the dudes in the Confederate shorts and shit, looking at me like, "Why you got a white kid, a little kid?" And she started to scream, and I'm like freaking out a little bit. So that is there.
If that's fair skin, what's unfair skin?
What is unfair skin? Mike is definitely 100% unfair skinned. In fact, that's what we'll call you.
Because of comments like this, I've had to grow with thicker skin, and that's why I'm more confident in you. But anyway, A-Rod, jump in here.
Your thick skin ain't got nothing to do with us. It's because of your affinity for Wendy's, and do not put that on me and Steve. But you brought somebody else into the panel, Mike. Let's introduce him.
Yeah, jump in here, A-Rod.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you wanted the Hispanic take on this, so I can throw out my knowledge on that if you guys like.
So who are you, first off?
Yeah,
I'm Cuban. I'm of Cuban descent.
Okay.
I'm fair-skinned Cuban, as you can see, but I mean,
very much different than unfair skinned Cuban.
Yeah, definitely different than that, man. But the thing about, and Mike said it earlier, and when I was listening and listening to you guys' conversation, that Hispanics kind of are tied in with Black culture and a lot of things in the way the communities are and stuff like that in a way, and I can agree with that to a certain extent, and I can't in the same way because I was raised with all different types of groups. I grew up in New York, so I was already thrown into the mix with Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Black, white, everything in my neighborhood, and then I moved back to Florida, where my parents are originally from, and I just got everything thrown at me here because I feel like Florida is just definitely America's melting pot with everything that's going on here. You get to see everything that's happening. And my father would tell me stories about when he was growing up in West Tampa that his grandfather would have racist tendencies where he would see Black people and he would help them, but if his son or his grandson brought home a Black person, it would just be different to him. It's not something that they would expect because my family is fair skinned. We're Cuban descent, Spaniard as well, and Spaniards suck. I hate having Spaniard blood in my system, but it is what it is. I can't change the gene pool on things.
Why does that suck?
Because they're colonizers, man, and they suck. They just like raped and pillaged everyone and brought disease and fucked up the Mexicans and everybody, man. It is what it is, so. And then the Caribbean is just a mix of all different types of melting pots there. You've got Black, you've got Hispanic, you've got European, everything there. So you have different languages that are being developed based on the different dialects and different cultures that they're given there as well. But my father, like getting back to my point, my father would tell me that his abuelo would tell him, you know, that's not what you should bring home. But the way that I was raised, my parents didn't care who I brought home. Obviously, I think it's just a time in history that, you know, you got to look past, and you can't change the past, but you can definitely correct issues and move forward from it. And I think our generation has definitely been one of the best things to happen, because you see a lot of biracial children, you see a lot of cultures coming together, understanding, you know, this whole Black Lives Matter movement. You saw a lot of white people out there protesting with Black people. My really good friend Rico Williams, he has a clothing company that's inspired to minorities, and he would tell me stories that his grandparents, when they were protesting, and his parents, that they didn't get to see things like this. You didn't have that type of support out there to, you know, to help. So, I mean, personally, me, when it comes to dating anybody that's biracial, I've dated the spectrum. I've hit every check mark, every box I need to hit to on women. I've put myself in different cultures, different households. My friends are all, you know, different races. So a lot of my friends are Hispanic, but a lot of my friends also are very minorities. And I always joke about, like, white people are, you know, corny and whack, and they can't dance and do a lot of this and stuff when they dance and stuff. But
what was that move again?
Can you dance now?
Melissa got it. Melissa got it.
That's from the Hurricane.
I've seen her.
That's from the Hurricane.
So, hey, man, I gotta ask you a question real quick. I gotta ask you a question. So, because the overarching theme of Dr. Umar Johnson's whole thing that he talks about is and it's back to Steve's point. His goal is to reunite and reunificate and bring back to glory the Black community. And he says one of the things, he doesn't say the thing, I think, because I don't think he says it's the thing. He says one of the things that stops that is the race mixing. And I don't think that this is not something I agree with, but I just want everybody's comment on this. I'm going to start with you, and you think about this from the perspective of the Hispanic culture, is that if you mix the races and you keep mixing and you keep mixing and you keep mixing, he calls that racial genocide. So technically he calls it African race in America is gone. So what do you feel about that? Like, so if you're trying to build something and you keep diluting it and diluting it and diluting it, well, eventually won't it be gone?
I mean, eventually it could be, but who's here to say that's how the way things should be? You know, if you care and love somebody and you want to be with that person, you should definitely indulge in those ways, and you should respect your partner. I get what he's saying. But at the end of the day, like, look at the Hispanic culture. There's Cubans, there's Puerto Ricans, there's Dominicans, there's Colombians, there's all different types. And just like different neighborhoods, Hispanics stick to certain neighborhoods, and they'll interbreed with those different, you know, cultures. And I mean, I grew up eating black beans and white rice. And then when I went to see my Colombian friends, it was a different bean on the table. And I was like, yo, what the hell is that? Like, that's a different bean that I'm not used to, man. So you get different perspectives, and even the dialects. You know, Colombians are known to speak Spanish very elegantly, very pretty, as opposed to Cubans or people in the Caribbean that they say they speak Spanish in a more slang type. I mean, I get the idea of things, but people are going to do what people are going to do. And when you make connections with people and you start to make relationships with people and things like that, nature's going to take its course the way it's going to have to be.
Mike,
so real quick, let me jump in. You're Cuban, right?
Yeah.
Will you put that graphic back up, Mike? Will you put that
yeah, I'm glad I got it, bro. I got it. So a comment from the comment section I throw up on the screen here. If Live with Yoga, Coach Brown, shout out to you. If she's not mistaken, or he, Cubans tend to identify more as white, correct?
Yo, Cubans to me stick out like sore thumbs. If you can't find a Cuban out in like society, he's wearing capri pants, he's wearing a Puma shirt, he's got 2 thick gold chains on, one on his wrist, and you can smell him a mile away.
Now we do live in Tampa.
Or all white.
Or all white, exactly. I don't think
also
that's
he
true.
Doesn't have on socks. You can't wear socks.
Yeah, if he don't have on socks, he's definitely.
Well, let me ask you like this: I believe, and I know this just for familiarity. You talking an island that has white and black Cubans on it. That the black Cubans get discriminated against a lot more than the lighter presenting ones. What do you guys say about that?
I mean, one thing I've always wanted to do is go to Cuba. I would really love to go there, but I don't want to get into politics, and thanks Donald Trump for fucking everything up.
They won't let you come back.
But I know a lot of Cubans that are black and white, and so I was arguing with one of my friends the other day because we have a Cuban friend and we call him El Negro, and that's obviously in Spanish the black. But in Hispanic community, if you call someone El Negro, it's nothing like derogatory. It's not a derogatory name if that's your nickname.
Well, that's because part of your language.
Exactly. So, but I can see if you're black and you're introduced to someone like, oh, this is El Negro, we call him El Negro or Choco. I can see how you're like, yo, that's kind of like fucked up that you call him that. But to us, it's just like, a normal day at the beach. And
there's difference between Negro, which was what they called us. It was a bastardization of the term, and Negro, which actually just means black.
What you're saying,
at the same time, like if you don't know Hispanic or like the jargon or if you don't know Spanish or the jargon or the context of the way the nickname is given, some people can see it as derogatory. So if you're brought into that and you're calling him, some people feel uncomfortable calling the guy that and they want to call him his name, which is Carlos.
Right, because all you're pretty much saying is just a different type of slang that you have to get. It's just like our slang now. Like, it's a big difference when we speak to each other in our own community. Mike, you know how I speak to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we speak different. And other people can't. It's just different type of language, different type of talk around with my homies. It's different. It's just like, so I personally understand being called El Negro or you said what I can't roll my R just as well, but the chocolate.
You can't even say R in English.
There's no
exactly, you know what I'm saying?
There's not even R in it, so you're good.
Right. So also it's like, it's pretty much, I understand it's not meant to be taken offensive because in this realm, it's almost like it's just a nickname. That's it. But when you break down the English terms, do I want to be called? And do I want to be called like in English, like, hey, this is the black guy? Of course not, because that's offensive in English. But when you say it in Spanish,
I get called the black guy like daily. What the fuck are you talking about?
Because you're not quite black. You're blurple.
Don't we about to go off? Like, it's different. Like if I'm in the Spanish in the Hispanic community, it's just different. You got to know where you're at. You got to understand the language.
It's kind of like a term though of endearment, to be honest, because I'm around so many Latin men and they call me that because they know I'm black.
Latin men call you La Negra? What do they call you?
Go look at my Instagram comments. You'll see it.
Interesting. Only is a different place, boy. It's a different place.
Yes, man. That's a different
Are you being fetishized?
That's a good question.
It's not.
If I am,
it was a joke.
Oh, let me ask that question because I only asked that for me, Mike, and Steve. Let me start with Mel. Do you think so? Snow Bunny. We're gonna go back to the Snow Bunny conversation. You've been called that your entire tenure in the black dating pool. First of all, does that offend you? Number one, and number two, how do you feel about being? Because you are being fetishized in that realm. How do you feel about that?
First of all, names don't, it doesn't hurt my feelings. We called Snow Bunny, Snowflake, I don't care. As far as you said, am I a fetish or was a black guy?
Do you feel fetish? To me, if you're giving, so Umar calls it the Snow Bunny crisis. We know what it is. It's a section on Pornhub. It's a section on Urban Dictionary. We know what Snow Bunnyism is. We know what it is. Mm-hmm. It's not everybody I think in the room knows what it is and probably watching. But
it's your most popular search. I know that's what it is.
Do you think so? I grew up with you. I know that a lot of your friends are black. I don't think I can actually probably name your brother, a white person that you're like good friends with. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just me. We haven't like talked face to face in a while, but like, so would you say that like you said, you go out with Kristen and white guys go to her, black guys go to you? What do you think? First of all, do you think you're being fetishized? Number one, and what do you think it is about you that attracts black guys? Let me go to her. Why are the white guys tearing down your door?
Well, even people. Black guys and white guys, or all races, be like, oh, she only dates black guys, just from looking at me.
Why is that?
You do play basketball.
Times I've got that. Oh, she probably only dates black guys, and I'm like, I'm wearing the same Hollister shirt with my collar popped up, just like Kristen. I don't get it. Not that it's a bad thing. I
don't know how they don't think y'all are lesbians. To be honest with you, it's not even like a the way you guys are such BFFs. I don't know how they're like those girls aren't like with each other, but So, you don't know, like there's nothing about you that you think like just like screams like I'm a Snow Bunny.
Other than the fact that I'm like so clear, the blood flowing through my skin. I'm so white. No, but even for Chris, and I don't want to speak on behalf of Kristen. I don't believe she's ever been fetishized. She's always had boyfriends. Like her boyfriends were white. I've slept around a lot of people. Okay, I burned my trail, honey, in college, and I burned it with a lot of people. So she's been in more relationships than me. I've been in a lot of relations, but I've also when I finally did find boyfriends, it's all been black and in between. But so I don't know if she's been fetishized because they've always been boyfriends. Like they're sticking around. She was never like a one and done girl.
A boyfriend can be a boyfriend can fetishize their female, and a girlfriend can fetishize their guy.
No, so true. I mean, the fetish world is a multi-million or billion-dollar world, obviously.
Wait, you don't think you've been fetishized as like a white girl? Like dudes ain't spotting you out like, oh shit, she with the shits or whatever the stereotypes is. Say for instance, like, oh, she with head or whatever, just because of who you are.
Probably, but they never said it to my face. I don't.
Would it bother you?
I mean, if they're fine as fuck, I mean, I'm salsa to them.
If it's like freshman year with the locker,
I'm like, sorry, you're gonna have to find your fetish someone else. Like I support you, but.
So sexual harassment only goes as far as your attractiveness to them, or
that's the bar. That's the.
If you're attracted to them, it's not sexual harassment. Got it.
Like I've never said. I mean, I get it. I used to get a lot. I don't get it so much anymore. I used to get like, I don't know how to talk to white girls. Black guys would be like, I don't know how to talk to white girls. I'm like a human. I don't. What are you talking about, bro? I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to hear from everybody else too, as Latino and as a mix.
I have no clue whatsoever. Could have been, probably was. I have no idea.
Everybody else chime in. As a Latino and as a mixed person, and even Claude and Steve in the studio, have anybody ever been fetishized, and would it bother you?
I'm sure I have.
Yeah, I'm sure I have too.
I'm sure we all have, but I mean, like if they introduce themselves, like, "How you doing, AJ Leona? I like mixed girls, and that's why I'm here." And same thing for you too.
I mean, if they call me by my OnlyFans name, then yeah, they're definitely.
Right. So is that what just happened?
Let me ask you about that, Amanda. So you brought it out there. Is that you think part of your allure is that you do have that exotic look?
I would say yes.
Do you think you have an exotic look? First off,
apparently I do, because men say that like all the time. They're always like, "Oh, you're so exotic. What are you?"
Are these white men?
Yeah, I gotta ask that. White men.
All walks of men, honey.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because
I've attracted everything you can think of. Everything.
Exotic is an interesting term for like. I never met a Latina and be like, "Oh, you're exotic." Like you just look like your race, like what you are, because I'm familiar.
Normal,
right?
Yeah. Normal, man.
I guess with me, they just call me exotic because they can't figure out what my race is.
You are light skinned with freckles and like red hair too, and like your eyes are what, green or brown or.
Well, my hair is like more like kind of brownish gold.
It's like an auburn. It's a pretty auburn color.
Oh Lord, chill out, Mel. Chill out.
No flirting on the panel.
Right.
But no. Basically, if you knew that somebody was attracted to you because of some demographic that you fit, would that be weird to you? And that goes for everybody here, even Melissa.
No, I don't think so, because I mean, I definitely have reasons why I love Latin men.
What reasons are those?
What are the reasons?
It's because they're exotic. It was her. She was saying that.
I'm not gonna say exotic.
Hey, right, get a pad and pamper.
So
I feel like he knows already. He's Latino.
So I feel like Latin men, especially the last experience I had with a man that's not even from this country. They're so much more romantic in how they speak to you and how they treat you. It's different. I love it.
More so than men. Wait, other color?
They speak a romantic language. That's cheating.
Hold on, wait a minute.
That is true. I'm a sucker for accents too. So,
hold on, yeah. I'm like anti-romantic. I'm like, let's go out on a date, have some drinks, take shots, and like see what happens. That's me, and that's how I got my wife. But you're saying, I want to explore this. So you're saying Latin men are more romantic than any other men? Black men, white men?
I'm not saying all of
She
them.
says speaks in a romantic sense.
But a lot of them, especially Latin men that are not from the United States.
I see.
It is.
Damn,
they are totally different than.
Jumping here, A-Rod, she deaded you just now. She's like everybody but him.
I love Melissa's
My
expression.
friend is
She's
dating
like,
a Cuban. Kristen's dating a Cuban man, honey, and this is the one. He is so romantic.
make sure she sends me the wedding invitation.
Yeah, Cuban men are great, honestly.
Hey, Rod.
I mean,
then we set you up for success, bro.
let me do the tie a little bit.
Write your number on a piece of paper and just hold it up so everybody can see it.
I'm Cuban.
But write it in Spanish.
She's not right. I mean, there's a lot of Don Juan like Latin men out there, Rico Suave type dudes. The language is similar to like, what is it, Italian? That's the language of love. It is what it is. There's some foreign men are a little more romantic, but I know just as many, black men, white men that love their wives unconditionally, just as Hispanic men do. And I know just as many Hispanic men that go out on the weekends and shoot the shit with the homies and come home pissy drunk to a screaming kid and a screaming, wife every time too. So it's I don't like to toot my horn for the
Y'all like to generalize. I don't mean to cut you off. I want you to continue, but honestly, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like when people generalize, like for example, you could say when you say this group of people, they're just fire like that. I guarantee you can run into a whole nother story with another. It's not going to end how you.
Of course, there are exceptions. Of course, there are exceptions. But I mean, to be honest, the Hispanic culture, they're very different. It's not.
I mean, I love my culture. I love it all, but. It's hot boy summer coming up, so I got to put on for the fellas on this.
Oh my God! Lord have mercy.
All right, so cue the air horns.
But to the statement that you asked, if I've ever been, fetishized for my race, I mean, I can say it's happened, but I think everybody has things that they like in a person, whether it's nice eyes or hair or certain features or things. You're gonna have your type of thing that you're into the person about, and if it happens to be being a certain race, I mean, hell, I lose out on a lot of Hispanic women that like black guys, and I'm like, shit, man, we're the same, but it is what it is. I've gotten black girls, and my friends like, yo, how'd you hook up with her? I'm like, I don't know, man.
On the
strength, I can roll my R's, you can't. I can cook rice and beans, you can't. I don't know what it is, man. But I mean, there's just certain things that people are gonna gravitate to, and
does
you
she
can't
know
knock
you can?
for that.
Does she know that you can hit a 95 per hour curveball?
I can't hit a curveball. I can definitely. Do that.
Trust me, I know. I believe you.
It's the hat.
But it's
that ain't it.
I mean, all jokes aside, it's you can't be closed-minded to one thing. So like, if there's one girl and she's like, "Oh, I only date black guys," well, why do you only date them? Because you just like the color of the skin or the culture? What is it? Have you ever opened up to liking a white dude? Like, what's the difference to that?
All right,
let's
hold on, Mike, because I'm gonna ask the question real quick. Because A-Rod kind of he went to the next bullet point on my list.
I didn't know this was a bullet point, but I think we're on the same page.
He hit it. He hit it, and
I can hit a curve, bro. I can do it all day.
You got it out there.
He hit it, Claude. He hit it.
I lost my thought. So what was? I lost it.
If you read the
bullet point. Yeah, I thought you wrote it because he was lying. The question I was going to ask is, if that is the case, is there a race? And I want to hear from everybody here, including the homies in the studio.
You're hearing from a lot of shit and not giving your opinion.
I have, but I'll start with my opinion. Is there a race you won't date? And my answer. And my answer is, I haven't dated white women, and it's mostly intentional. And I gave the answer earlier, but here's a restate. It's because I believe our cultures are so different. It's such a gap there that I don't feel like trying to make up that gap while also trying to be in a relationship. And now everybody else.
Ooh. So you're racist.
Let me. Not
racist. No.
Let me go to Mel first. Mel.
I didn't say I wouldn't date white women because they're white. I just don't want green bean casserole on the weekend.
Melissa.
When they put raisins in the potato salad, that's my nightmare, man.
Oh, stop! Hold on, wait. So one of the things that I hate most about being married to a white woman is that she like green bean casserole for Thanksgiving. I think it's gross, but you know what's funny? She's accepted the fact that we won't have it at Thanksgiving. Do you know who has to have it at every fucking Thanksgiving? Mike's girl, his Hispanic girlfriend, always wants to have green bean casserole at Thanksgiving every year. I hate that shit. It's gross. But Mel, my question for you is: is there any circumstance that would get you to date a white guy?
Oh, well, I've totally I'm one of those people that's like totally transformed and found myself, and now I'm my authentic self. And there's so much more criteria that needs to be checked off than like before. It's like, oh, you just have to be over 6 foot tall and I'll date you.
All right, no, stop right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. All the checks are checked.
So
you get to that race box, and that race box is white.
Yeah, I don't care. The color does not matter to me. There's other things that are way more important to me now that I want to do with my partner. I don't care what color you are. I just want a partner that's going to do A, B, C, and D with me. So the color doesn't matter.
Do you think it's okay though if I said, or if you said, that's all I want. That's my preference. That's what I want. I want to marry a black guy. I want to have some caramel children. With curly hair, like Amanda's and mine, and not mine. Mine ain't like Amanda's. Is that okay? And that's everybody's question. And then we get back to Mike's question. Is it okay to literally say, I just want to date a white girl, or I just want to date a black woman, or a black man, or a white man, or Hispanic? Is it okay to literally say, this is my preference? That's what I want. I'm not racist. This is what I want. Is that okay? Everybody can answer that.
I mean, I feel like it's a double-edged sword, but at the end of the day, you have to do what you want. I'm not living your life. I don't want to live your life. Whatever makes you happy is going to help your mental health and you be a great person and be kind to other people. I just need you to not be mean to people that are not what your preference is. If you do have a preference, you need to not close that. If you have kids and just say you only are going to date black men, or you only are going to date white men, or you're only going to date Hispanic men, I need you to only make that decision for yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, only project that on yourself, but don't project that on other people or your children or anything like that. So everyone has a preference in everything, in every aspect of their life. Just don't push that on other people.
Is there a race you won't date?
Now you gotta ask Mike's question.
No.
I believe
that little smile says something. There's something there.
Back again. I'm
5'6" Asian man.
No. Mel won't date race. Mel won't date a short guy. So Mike, your fake height of 5'9".
I did. I gave it a fair shot. I dated 2 guys that were my height.
She's speaking, but y'all both on talk. She's telling y'all otherwise.
Sorry, go ahead.
I dated 2 guys that were I did give it a shot because that was one of my check to the boxes. Like, you have to be over 6 foot tall. I'm like, Melissa, people can't control their height. They could be an amazing person. I dated 2 guys for a few months. And I just, honestly, you guys, I wasn't comfortable. I was not comfortable. I felt like when we were snuggling, it was like a backpack on my back. Like, but if that works for you, that works for you. I gave it a good try, and I wasn't comfortable.
You can send the short ones to me. I love short men.
Yes, babe. They're all in my DMs. Maybe this is better.
I have no reason. I have no reason to shoot my shot here. I'm happily in my relationship, but I'll tell you this: ain't no back
going on at home, bro. What the
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Jesus Christ.
Can you just wear a shirt that says that? Because you said
a tattoo. Put it on your
wear a
head.
shirt that says I'm happily in my relationship.
I want y'all to hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ain't nothing. 5'9" over here. Ain't no backpack. Nothing. I could pick you up and walk away with you. I could kidnap you if I wanted to. Doesn't like height or size is a disparity, like people were saying in the airplane convo or the weighing convo earlier. Where's your mass at? If you're dating some 5'6" soccer player, then cool. But you dating a 5'6" running back, it's a different conversation.
Mel, you're 5'11".
Do your thing.
That's your opinion.
Mel, you're 5'11", right? Of course.
I'm not out here dating men anyway, but I was just throwing you. Well, let Clark get his shit off. Go ahead.
Melissa, you're 5'11", right? From what I read about 5'11". All right. Is 5'9" tall?
I think that is tall for a man. 5'9", 5'10" is like the average size of a man, right?
Is that something to brag?
Is that not literally my tagline? 5'9" average height. Come on, Claude. You trying to air me, and she don't even know what she don't even know what you're talking about, and she just literally said what I said. Yeah, but that's not the point.
We're derailing.
I don't feel defensive here. I was just throwing you something for you. You say you looking, you say you out there, you searching. I say, you know what I'm saying? Just open your mind.
Mela's height. Her answer is no, there's not
a the race thing, she wouldn't date. She would not date any race.
I fully agree with Mel when she's like she went so damn long, I had my shit locked and it's just a wrap. Go ahead. No, it's not your fault.
No, it was the rest of us.
This is my fault. Let's jump to Amanda. Is there a race that you won't date?
No.
Why?
She's mixed.
I mean, no, it's not just the fact that I'm mixed. I mean, I'm just open. I mean, I've mainly been with Hispanic men, but I mean, I had a 2-year relationship with a white guy.
Can I ask something?
I like how it's an accomplishment.
Right. Can I ask something? You haven't mentioned your experience with black guys. Just as a man who has a biracial daughter, I have to ask this question.
I'm very happy you're asking this. Actually, go ahead.
Let's do it. No, I'm. The question is that what is your experience with black guys? And it seems like your affinity is Hispanic guys. You yourself grew up in a black household. It sounds like fairly black household or black family member household. What took you away from black men?
So I'm glad you're bringing this up because I have actually had a lot of my female friends, especially don't stop laughing.
No, I'm laughing at Steve.
That prefer black men. Some people will say, "Oh, Amanda's not into black men." That's not true. I've found plenty of black men attractive. I just haven't had any of the right ones come my way.
How many white ones and Hispanic ones married you? Oh, my bad.
Very funny.
So you haven't had many black men
look into the
ask you out? Is that what it is? Is that what I missed? You haven't had many black men ask you out?
I've had black men ask me out. It's just a lot of them don't come at me correctly.
What is correctly?
You know, just with respect, and it's kind of hard for me to explain it. If instead of like seeing me somewhere going, hey girl, I hate that.
So hold that thought, Amanda. We're gonna get to you in a second, A-Rod. Melissa, how do black men come at you?
I mean, I've had a variety. It used to be like, hey mom, what's your name?
That Dipset era.
What year was this?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I worked for Wild 94.1, and we were in every single club. I was working 2 clubs a night, Monday through Monday. I was in every club in Ybor.
What year?
Every club in the world.
Was one of them Full Moon Saloon?
Throw your moons up, baby. Throw your moons up. Of course it was Full Moon Saloon.
So like what year we talking like 04?
But 05? You let that behavior slide. I let that behavior slide. No, I don't.
Melissa, what year was it? That was what, like 06, 07?
I graduated Clearwater High in 2000, so it was 2000.
No, you did not graduate. You did not graduate.
2005.
Thank you.
Sorry. 2005 is when I graduated from Clearwater High. So the 2005s and on.
Yeah.
But no, If you say, hey ma, I'm leaving you on red. That's not the behavior that I tolerate. I don't tolerate that behavior anymore. I'm a different person. So
but you did get black men that did come correct.
Back then that was correct for me, but now that shit ain't. And so you come, hey, how are you? That's it. Like,
I see Don in the comments a lot. I'm surprised he's not on.
He comes on every episode. We might have him on later on, but he's
I feel like y'all just left your man's A-Rod just sitting there.
Right, so let's get him in there. Mike, get him in there.
Come in, A-Rod. Come in.
Is there a race you won't date? And you can speak to anything else anybody else said.
I mean, to me, I'd be lying if I didn't say I gravitate more to Hispanic women. But for me in general, I just don't like closed-minded people. If you're closed-minded on one thing, that's just not for me. I'm not having that. You know, I've dated all races. I've dated white, black, Asian, Hispanic. I've dated them all. And, you know, once the one thing that I hear is something that I'm not with, like we're talking and, you know, damn, wish I was there at the Capitol building with my people, then I'm like, yep,
Jesus.
I'm out.
I got white people.
I gotta get out of here, you know, so I'm good.
You're talking subterranean white people.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but or the Tim Scotts out there, you know, whatever you want to call them. But at the end of the day, you're gonna go towards somebody that you're attracted to because you have similar interests. So I don't let the race play into the way of it. I don't look at the color of somebody's skin or anything. It's I'm attracted to her. You know, we have the same ideas that I like and that we can vibe on a lot of stuff. And you should just be able to go with it after that. But I'm just not a closed-minded person. I like to put myself in weird situations. Like I would have a conversation with a Trump guy for probably like 2 hours just to like really get him wild up. and see what he would do. And then when he goes to his car to get the strap, I'm already like 3 miles down the road already, we're nowhere to be found. So,
would you date a Trump supporter?
Hell no, I would not, man. I definitely would not.
Why are you being closed-minded?
Because that's something I don't agree with. That's just something I'm not closed-minded to listen to the idea. You can picture, like, I hate country music. I dated a girl and she was like, oh, I really want to go to a country concert. You'll love it. The girls have booty shorts. Everything's great. I'm like, first off, why do you want me to look at other girls if we're dating? And two, I'll give it a try. And she wasn't right. Every girl had like booty shorts in there. But when I just started hearing, songs about,
I feel like there's a lot of, and I don't disagree with what you just said about the booty shorts. I've been to country clubs. I feel like there's a lot of kumbaya shit going on where it's like everything is peaceful and it's all good and gravy. But anybody who dates interracially know, and Claude said he don't see the looks. Bro, you see them looks. When you walk past a group of black chicks and they looking at your ass with the come on, bro face. Right, hold on, let me finish. Also, Amanda, Melissa, you see it. Amanda, whether you see it or not, I don't know because you date Latinos. But if anybody here dated a black person and they got to walk past a group of black folks, that they're gonna get some looks or some comments or something. Like, let's not act like it's all gravy.
So wait, hold on. So before anybody, let me have 2 minutes to myself real quick to kind of just address that, because thank you, Mike, for bringing that up. When I said that, I meant I don't care what they're looking, because you know me, I don't care. I don't care if they don't like the t-shirt.
I'm saying you don't care, but what you said was you don't see it.
Oh no, I don't see it because I'm not looking for it. If you're not looking for it, you won't see it. It's not. In the back of my mind, I know it's there, but I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm a 6'5".
Renee says she sees the looks.
She does because she cares about it and she's focusing on it. I'm not. I go, if I'm out to either get my Dats, shout out to Dats burger, or my McDitton's whiskey, shout out to Matt at McDitton's. I'm not thinking about anybody else. Matty D. I'm not thinking about anybody's fucking issue when I'm out. So yeah, it happens. People do, and I used to get, and I will say this: I've talked to black girls that have criticized me for that, and I've given them the same thing that I said at the beginning of this episode. I simply said back in the day when I was interested, and I won't you ask Mel to back me up because I don't know if she remembers back in the day, but back in the day, I had lots of female friends that were black. My cousin was my best friend in high school, and all her friends were black girls that played on Melissa's team. They weren't black guys that were like me. It's just that's what it was. So I gravitated towards the white girls, and that is the conversation I have with black women when they have an issue with me dating white girls. Now I also say I have also dated black girls as well. It's less, but I will just be honest. I don't really date seriously dating that much. So if I really said seriously dating, it's probably on one hand, and 2 of them were black. So technically, if we talk about serious dating, it's black, white, and the rest of them I'm just trying to smash, and they're all different races. So except for black. But at the end of the day, it's not like what do you want me to say?
I don't want you to say anything, but everybody else can answer the question. The question basically being, if you date black, you go out, you see the looks, whatever the reason being, and I could define the reason. I don't feel like bringing y'all up to speed, but that's kind of my general point on why I don't date white women. I don't feel like bringing people up to speed, but when you date black, do you see the looks and does it bother you?
I mean, I'll go first since I got shunned in the beginning of the last 2 questions. So
that's Claude, man. That's Claude did that to you.
Nah. I just speak quick. I'm the same way, man. I don't look for that shit. If people are gonna give you nasty looks about anything, like it could be shoes, like they could hate on you for your shoes, they could hate on you for anything. So like I'm just the kind of person that if I'm not looking for any of that shit, but the looks are gonna come, but I'm not looking. I'm not giving it any attention or any mind.
Okay. Everybody else?
Don got a lot to say. I like Don.
He does.
I know.
Y'all want Don to jump in?
But you know what though?
No,
I actually kind of want to ask you guys a question though,
because
everyone always thinks that I appear to be something that I'm not. So I'm kind of a monkey wrench, honestly, if you think about it.
That's an interesting term.
Because
we don't typically call ourselves monkeys.
Really? Because most of the men that I've been with are primarily attracted to Hispanic women. I'm not a woman.
But you could pass as
Hispanic. Honest, Amanda, I thought that you were Spanish when you came on.
I know, that's what everyone thinks. So I don't ever care about looks though.
So, all right. So, Mike, I appreciate your question. I'm gonna ask another question, and then I have a big question that I think we're gonna probably end this on because it's a good one. My other question is that so Amanda, Mike, Steve, even Melissa and A-Rod, do y'all code switch? So everybody knows what code switching is, right? Everybody? No, Mike, please educate the crowd on code switching, please, sir.
You're saying code?
Code. C-O-D-E.
Switching.
Okay.
Code. Go ahead, Michael.
Well, I don't feel like I have to.
You're the educated one.
When you live/work/ hang out in a different world, you might need to present a certain way to be successful in that world. For instance, work. You ain't going to work speaking like we normally speak. I'm not going to talk to the homies like I'm speaking to the homies. And I go to work, it's business. It's how you doing, how's the weather. When I get home with the homies, is whatever it is. I don't have to give y'all examples of it.
Right.
Claude's question is, do y'all code switch?
So,
or can y'all code switch?
Do you code switch when you are with someone? So unless you only date someone of the opposite race, but
when you're in a relationship,
when you're in a relationship, do you code switch? Do you change? Are you a chameleon? Are you different with that person of a different race? Oh, Melissa, you shaking your head, but
I'm not.
Hold on, you don't code switch ever. So you're now
from my mom and dad. Only mom and dad are gonna get. Oh, anyone that's an elder, an adult, still, it's always Mr. Mrs. You know what I mean? Like all the time, I'm gonna do that till the day that I die. And I don't code switch when I'm dating.
So when you're with
I'm me. You're dating me. I'm not putting on a facade for you.
But you don't have to code switch.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Well, people code switch to assimilate to the majority, and you are the majority.
Well, she may not always be in a room.
Right. Not normally either.
Like,
well, that's a whole dangerous situation. If she's at the cookout and code switching, she might get fought. Like that's a whole different conversation.
Melissa, would you say with your friend group and the dating pool that you're in, would you say that you find yourself 9 times out of 10 the minority in the group?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you change? Is there a code switching there? Are you different?
No, what am I doing? Like, this is me. I'm Melissa. This is what you're getting. I'm not saying anything like this, talking like this, putting a filter on for you, putting a mask on for you, I'm not like, that's exhausting as fuck. Why would I do that?
But you know that does happen though, right? There are white girls that are hanging the snow bunnies that hang around the groups of predominantly African Americans, black people. And
I like Don.
There's a twang. Don't tell her that, Don. There's a twang. There's a little bit of a hint of accent there that comes from the ether, and that it happens. Mike, has that ever happened to you? You ever been hanging out with somebody that's predominantly hanging out with black? I would say white girls that I've hung out with, not the one I'm currently married to or any of that I've ever dated. I have gotten that before. It's a different. They do code switch as much as I do. I feel like sometimes that when I'm hanging out with their predominantly white friends, I can't be, yo, what up, Mike? I gotta be like, hi, I'm Claude. How you doing?
I don't find myself in those situations.
Media. I mean, not now. I'm different now. It's different now. I'm 30.
The example I gave was at work. What we do in our personal lives is one thing. I've hung around your friends. I ain't code switching for none of them. They can get what they get, and they can like it or not.
Do you think people do it though?
But at work, you best believe my ass is regular work because I want to keep my fucking job.
Me too. Me too. What I do in my personal life, half the shit's illegal probably. But so I'm not acting like that at work. Of course I'm putting it on at work.
But y'all really don't think that happens in relationships? You don't think that people get?
I don't.
Yes.
You tell me, do you code switch?
I told you.
Do you code switch?
Absolutely. Right. So my wife doesn't do it, but I have been in situations with girls that you know from that I've dated, that when we get around the homies, it's a different little twang. In fact,
I've seen that.
The person that's commenting has dated someone that gets into the. So I hope you don't get mad at me, but we're dating.
So I gotta show up to the White Casserole potluck, and I gotta code switch while I'm there.
I'm talking about the other way. No, I'm talking about the other way around. Actually, I'm talking about.
Oh, so for instance, if Melissa showed up to the cookout.
Not Melissa, but I'm talking about the homie from Chicago shows up to the cookout, and now all of a sudden she's from Bed-Stuy instead of East Lake, northern Chicago.
This ain't my experience. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
You haven't seen it. I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead, Amanda. Go ahead.
Yeah, I personally don't. I'm gonna be honest. No matter who I'm with, when I'm pissed off, you're getting the black girl attitude. I'm sorry. What's the black girl attitude? I'm gonna be honest with you. Pretty much every single person I've known says that every time that I'm mad, that's when you can tell that I'm mad.
See, that's the problem I have, that black women are looked at like that. I don't think black women are angry, but that's literally what you.
I know black women ain't angry.
I'm just saying, people say that to me, but I've seen. Not saying Melissa does, because I totally believe her, but I've seen a lot of white women do that based on what type of man they're with. If they're a black man, it's all of a sudden, like they're getting all into the black culture. But then when they're Hispanic men, then they're bumping Spanish music. They're all over the place.
It's
depending on who they're with. Yeah, and like me, I'm very diverse, but I'm diverse no matter who I'm with. Like it doesn't
also
matter.
have black, so it is okay if you if you think that is part of your culture. If you think that is, but I just want to say that black women are not inherently angry. I think women in general are inherently
angry.
Not
at all. I'm just saying people say that to me when I get pissed. That's all. Okay.
Are these black people or white people?
Yeah,
I have
a lot of black people say that to me.
Well, it's not really a question, and it wouldn't be code switching for A-Rod, but I love it. Like if I'm just talking to A-Rod right now, and then he gets on the phone with like someone that speaks Spanish, it is night and day. Or you say your name to someone and like you're like, oh, my name is what's the name that has an R in it? Oh, my name's Cameron. And when you talk to your mom, it's Cameron. Like it's an instant.
That means shrimp in Spanish, by the way.
Oh, sorry. But you know what I mean? Like A-Rod, that might be I don't want to call that code switching. That's like you flipped it on, like you're on the phone with someone that speaks Spanish.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm trying
That's
to.
actually the definition of code switching.
Is it?
Interesting. Yeah. That's an interesting question, and I'm trying to think if I've ever been like
it ain't code switching if you're literally switching languages.
If I'm literally
the only way that I can think that I've ever done it would be in the workplace, like you said, because I can't talk the slang and do all of that like I can with the homies. I got to be business professional in corporate America, and yes sir, no sir. I think the funniest thing I ever said was the shit don't add up, and my boss thought it was the funniest thing, and he went on with it for like a couple of days saying, oh, the shit doesn't add up. So I was like, yeah, it doesn't add up. So but nah, like I feel like my friends know who I am. They know that I just try to be funny all the time, and I generally just a silly, funny person. I don't try to be somebody I'm not. But I can't. I'm trying to think of a way if I've ever done it, because I feel like we all have been guilty of it at some point in our life. Like we get around a bunch of white girls who are like, hey, how are you? And all of that, like maybe something like that. But other than that, I can't think of any time that I've really done it knowing that I have to do it. I need to code switch in a way.
I think those are the people that aren't cultured, that don't have passports, that have never traveled, that have never been outside their city. Like and maybe it's the people that I associate myself with that they don't do that. No one switched. Like I just found an authentic group of people that they're who they are day in and day out. And I'm very blessed that I have those people in my circle. But I think if you're code switching, you don't know who the fuck you are, and you're not an authentic person, and I'm not your friend. Sorry.
Y'all are code switching in relationships. This is nuts. And I know nobody here. I know nobody here said that they would do it. I'm just people. You're dating someone. Like I'm not showing up to my girl's full Mexican Texican house party, and I'm not code switching for shit. I'm not rolling. I can roll my R's. Yeah. I'm not rolling my R's. Right. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm showing up as black Mike, and that's where I live every day until I cross the threshold and clock into work. But also, I work remote, so that's
Hold on, Mike. You have to know that happens in relationships. I mean, you've seen the movie Get Out. Homie, when he showed up and was talking to all of the white family, he wasn't talking the same that he was talking to. Hey, bro, what's up? The same. The guy like Keith Stanfield. It was very.
I feel like the homie in Get Out was looking. The homie in Get Out was looking a lot like Steve looking right now. He was at the house party like. These white people tripping, man. I don't know what the fuck going on.
Get out. All right,
Steve,
all right, guys,
you need to get out.
No, I'm gonna ask one last question. Because somebody actually posed this to me. What are some? Ooh, I'm gonna fall. I lost. I'm gonna fall. Don't look at me.
Boy, you fall out that chair. I'm finna crank up on you.
Never.
Gonna be like,
call me fat too. Hey, he called me fat too many times. I'll roast your ass to the end of the world. You fall out that chair.
All right, so we talked about fetishizing the race and all that good stuff. What were some sex stereotypes? Some sex stereotypes or stereotypes in general. I'm gonna start with sex stereotypes, and then you go down from that, or just get in the muck from that. Sex stereotypes that you guys experienced while dating other races, or that you had a preconceived.
I can speak
this
on
is a
that.
man's show. This is a man's show, so we gotta talk about sex.
Amanda, and then I'll go.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Amanda.
I was gonna say I can speak on that. I will just say I always hear everyone say that Latin men are the freakiest. I gotta disagree. Ain't nobody nastier than them white boys. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm being honest.
Wow.
White boys will do anything. Anything. Like nothing is off limits. Nothing.
Random follow-up question.
It's not random. Go ahead.
Asking for a friend.
not literally not asking for myself, but what are you talking about? Like, where's the line that made you go, "Oh, this shit is crazy"? Like you mail it. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, next people.
No.
This show is not about OnlyFans. I just realized where I was about to go, and it's not.
It's not. But she said the white boys are freaky. What prompted you?
They're not competing in my arena, but I'll be curious.
I'm saying that because I have been with Hispanic men that have had limits, or they like don't do certain things, and white guys will do anything.
What Dave
Chappelle
said, he'll put a carrot in your ass. Like, Bob put a carrot in my ass. Like, type shit
I'm
like
not talking about. I'm just saying they will do anything.
Melissa, rebuttal.
So you guys know I've only dated black men and slept with black men, and the big dick theory. It's not all true. I've had a lot of dick. And they all vary in size.
Claude, you all right?
No, I'm good.
I was asking Claude, was he okay?
I'm being honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
I have to add to what she says too, that it's not true that all white men are small either. Because
But well, that's my story, because it's the theory that black men have big dicks. Don't get me wrong. I've had some big dicks.
You could have went like black men are good kissers. You could have literally went anywhere.
No, everyone knows.
Straight for the dick, huh?
That's the white daddy's nightmare right there,
That's the
man.
known stereotype.
Her father is stressed.
Right.
Her father
When
is
a man finds out I've dated a black man, I swear to God, that's why a white guy won't want to date me. A white guy dated a black guy. I'm like,
A-Rod,
A-Rod,
what's your experience with black men?
With black men? Yeah, nice try.
Nah, man, chime in. I'm fucking with you.
I mean, I don't know. I'm about whatever. I'm just that kind of guy. I'm about whatever, man. Everybody's got to put effort into the game when you're sexing each other. But I mean, a lot of girls say Latin guys, like to go down all the time. Like that's all they want to do. They're the best at it.
That's not true.
I mean, you got to do me, I got to do you type of thing. It's a 50-50 relationship. That's the way I see it. And then they say all Latin men like anal. I mean,
that's not true either.
Homie went to a place.
Okay.
He went to a place though.
Yeah.
He lost his whole train of thought.
You had a bad experience,
I'm just trying to think, because like I know like people that just off the rip are like, oh, I bet you like to go down all the time. Like what made you come up with that idea on stuff? Like that's not like, how are you? What's your name first before we start talking about this type shit? But
so girls walk up to you and literally goes, "Hey man, you want to take me home and go down on me?" That's the girls. That's like how they open.
Shit, like
wow.
Let me crack my wallet open a little bit first before we start doing this. But shit.
So after you smashed, what happened?
Huh?
After you smashed, what happened?
After you went down on her, how was it?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say you went down.
A 24-hour thing. I was doing that. Like, take a break now. We take a little break for a little bit. But...
You wild, bro.
Do the gents want to, or do the hosts want to participate in this question?
Yeah, jump in there, Steve.
Yes, Steve.
Man, what's the question?
The question is, give me some sex stereotypes about the different races that you've been with. Throw it out there. Latinas, Indian girls, whatever. Something. Keep it. NC-17 if you can.
No, I got one real quick. One white girl I was smashing, she started saying Papi, and I was like, this is fucking weird. This is so weird that she's calling me Papi right now. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll entertain it, but I was like, this is
right. So after you finished smashing, what happened?
I was like, why'd you call me Papi? That's what I just asked.
So I'll go before Steve to let him drink his wine. Mine is actually similar to A-Rod's. I do not, and I hate it, and I cannot stand like being called daddy. I don't like it. I never have. My wife doesn't do it. I don't like it. I have a daughter. It's awful. It's gross. I don't understand why it's in porn. I don't understand why anybody would want to call anybody their daddy. It's weird. It's just psychologically fucked up, and I automatically will think something's wrong with you if you calling somebody daddy.
Before Steve answers, I want to hear his sommelier breakdown on that wine.
What kind of wine is it? First off, because I'm a big
what flavor notes you getting in the when you're swirling? You supposed to smell.
Cooper and Thief. It's a very good wine. It's a California wine, if I'm not correct.
Yeah,
what is
brother, it? If you say
my man's wine drunk.
Wine guy. This was actually represented. This was recommended to me.
Yeah,
it's a Cooper and Thief. You ever heard of it?
Cooper and Kings.
Thief.
Oh, Cooper and Thief. I say because I know Copper and Kings they do like liquor, but I don't know if they do wine.
It's Cooper and Thief.
Okay, what kind is it? Like what type of red?
I don't know.
It's a Pinot Noir, Steve.
The Pour Up Podcast.
It's a dark red.
Let's see respond.
My take on this wine, bro, is fire. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah, do that.
What's your take on the question?
Jump in the conversation. Claude, give it to him again. The question.
I actually want to hear a male perspective on this.
I gave you one.
I gave you one.
A-Rod did too. What are you talking about?
They didn't like your take.
No, like a more detailed one, like Melissa and I gave. Right.
Oh, what's the question? All right. So
what's the question?
Go ahead.
Mine's gonna be trash because facts are for me. I don't buy into stereotypes. Like everyone, it's the person, it's the individual. Like some people, some white women do what they do, some black women do what they do, Hispanics do what they do. Like I literally have not run into any stereotype to where like literally that race holds it down for them all. And some has been fire in some departments, and then that same race has been trash in that same department. So I can't say they were just lit the whole time. Like, but that's not for me.
You ever get into a situation where you thought it was going to be lit based off a stereotype?
I only approach females that I feel is going to be lit. So I'll have faith in that situation.
Damn. I like that. I like that. Good answer. That is fine. That's a great answer. I will give you one more, Amanda. The going down thing, he said Hispanic. I've gotten that with like black guys don't go down. That ain't true.
See, that's the other thing I've heard too. I've heard that from my girls that are always with black men. They're like, yeah, that's not true. Black men go down all the time.
If a black man didn't go down on you, it probably smelled funny. Yeah, just throwing it out there. That's just from experience. Don't try to make that. Don't put that on us.
I haven't experienced.
Don't take it from us and put it on the Hispanics.
Black men on that level. I haven't experienced black men on that level.
Michael, your answer.
Yeah, I mean it's common goddamn sense. I'm 35. I've been with a few people, and specifically women. I do feel like every stereotype could be broken. Every stereotype could be played into, and sometimes you guess wrong. Sometimes you guess right. You get your shit off and you keep it moving. I don't know what else to tell you. Till you find the one and then you lock in. You do that thing.
All right, guys. I really do appreciate A-Rod, Melissa, and Amanda being on the show, guys.
Yeah,
we will have you on again. So always
wait before you kick them off. If you got something to promote, here's your chance. Tell them where to find you, and we'll promote that.
Starting with Amanda.
Whoever.
Okay. You guys can follow me on Instagram. It's Amanda Baby 2 Ys XO. I'm on Twitter. My handle is my heart too big, and I'm on OnlyFans. OnlyFans.com/AJ Leona.
Melissa, you about to make a new endeavor in your life. Put it out there. No,
I'm going to school. I'm going back to school. Huh?
I know her. I know her. She is going to put it out there. Go ahead.
Well, no, I wasn't going to put it out there because.
Oh, sorry.
Apologize. Claude, apologize.
Sorry. My apologies.
I didn't expect you to really do that.
No, I don't really have anything to promote other than I just really want people to live their lives and whatever makes them happy and be their authentic selves. Mental health.
What if murdering?
Date who you want to date, kiss who you want to kiss, do whatever you want to do. Life is short. We're on this globe spinning through galaxy. Do what makes you happy. You can follow my crazy. I like to dance in faux fur coats on my Instagram.
I was gonna say you can't give us your Instagram. I'll follow you on Instagram.
Yes, and my Instagram is Missliss86, MSLIS86.
A-Rod.
Appreciate that. A-Rod, what's up, bro?
Claude, Steve, Mike, thank you for having me, man. It was a lot of fun. Usually, I'm doing sports talks with my co-host KK. We do the Fair Weather podcast, so we just talk sports, chop it up, all different things, all different angles on sports, and bring idiot fans down to earth that think their teams are amazing.
Calling out the fair weathers, I see you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I'm a Knicks fan, so they've sucked for a long time, but I'm not jumping ship that we're in the playoffs, man. I'm happy with progression. Happy with progression is what you need to see as a fan.
Prepare for disappointment.
Hey man, I said just make the playoffs. That's all.
Yeah, I don't want to derail you. Where can they find you?
Yeah, man, we're on YouTube, Instagram, at even wherever you subscribe to podcasts. The Fair Weather Podcast, Twitter, Fair_Weather Pod. Just follow us there, and if you like just hearing good sports talk from unbiased people, we're those guys.
Fair Weather Podcast, AJ, Leona,
shout out to Dom,
Miss Liz. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys
you having
so
you on.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Y'all take care.
Thank
Be
y'all,
safe,
everybody. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So, Mike, let's I do have a shot for us this week. However, I did not make it because my 32-ounce cup here got me a little tipsy. But I will just tell everybody, Mike, if you just throw up the graphic real quick, I'll tell them what it is. Just make what is called a White Russian. Super simple. White Russian consists of 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of Kahlua, and a splash of heavy cream. And you're gonna go to your local liquor store. You're gonna find a 99 mini liquor espresso coffee, the black, and then the White Russian, and you're gonna just literally take that 99 and you throw that right into that White Russian.
The whole thing.
Just toss it in just like that, and you drink it to your leisure. Steve, I will make it.
That shit sounds good.
It sounds good. I'll actually make it for us off air if you don't care.
You want to make it on air?
I want to make it off air just because we're just.
Oh, you mean like off camera?
Off camera.
Okay.
I'll make it for you. Sorry guys, this episode I'll make it off. I'll literally make it off air. I'll record it and I'll actually post it to our Instagram.
I thought you was going right now. I had some shit I want to holler at Steve about.
Yeah, holler at Steve. I don't want to. You want to make it? You know what, Mike? Go. I will make it. Go ahead.
Talk to my.
I'll make the shot. Go ahead.
I'm gonna talk to my guy. So, Steve, you were I wouldn't say very quiet, but you were quiet in spots on the conversation. We had 3 people in here talking. I love the date mixed race shit. What you guys say? You guys say anything?
Not really. I mean, it was a lot of people in here, so I wanted other people to get off whatever their opinions and thoughts.
Of course, we have to allow space.
So I was just trying to let them have that.
Yeah.
For the most part, that was it. Like that's why I was more so quiet. Just let them have it. They're not always on. They're not going to be here.
Of course,
more than likely. Or they may be, but I don't know. They don't get the same extended convo and talking airtime that we have. So I was letting them have it.
Yeah, we got time to talk. A few people in the comment section is going crazy. I'm gonna just scroll back real quick.
Let me hear them because I wasn't reading.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
That.
Well, Don was in there wilding, talking about kick Melissa off, and
the reason why,
just because she was wilding with some of her comments. But I guess I'll just ask you a direct question like this. Somehow Dr. Umar got tied into this, and I know he was in the promo and all that. Dr. Umar, I didn't agree with everything he was saying, but I think you brought it up earlier in the broadcast where you were talking about diluting the black dollar. And if the black dollar don't stay in the community that long, then it gets spread out. And when you start diluting anything, hypothetically, if you're bleach and I'm water, if I pour enough into you, pause.
Diluting the black family.
Yeah, the black family and the black dollar. That's what he was talking about, the black dollar too. But the gist of it being whatever, thing you want to call it, black dollar, black family, black anything, right. That us as a minority, as a 11% in this country, that if we keep intermixing, eventually we'll get washed out. And what do you feel about that, or do you feel
that's a fact? Not just it will go for anyone, but we're going to talk specifically black people. Absolutely, that's a fact. We will be washed out. Absolutely, if we keep intermixing, if we keep this going, we will be washed out. And of course, with genes and genetics and things like that, you're going to have someone's going to be born darker than maybe everyone else. Just like sometimes you get a baby with blue eyes versus the same brown that the whole white family has.
Yeah,
like somewhere down the line, it's gonna work out that way. But that's what he hit, and that is a fact. Eventually, yeah. And honestly, Dr. Umar isn't the first person I heard worried about that. Who I heard worried about that more is our racist white men and Nazis. That's literally what I hear mostly. Far from Dr. Umar even starting it. Like he's not that one. He's not the one.
Yeah, that was whole Nazi propaganda. Their whole thing was keep the white race pure.
Right. David Duke's
and a lot of neo-Nazis still ride that whole shit.
David Duke's whole shit is about keeping the white race pure. Like Dr. Umar Johnson wanting white or all black schools rather, and all black neighborhoods and
Marcus Garvey
keeping the black family pure, if you will. He didn't start that shit, and I can't stand by whether I agree with him all the way or not, and make it seem like he did. Because again, that's just exactly how everything else goes. Something else will be done to us, but they do a great job in flipping it and making it look like we're the creators of the fuck shit. That ain't true. That ain't true at all.
Well, specific to Dr. Umar, and he gets condensed into sound bites. And similar to Farrakhan, similar to Malcolm X, similar to anybody you want to name who has something to say that was on the fringe edge of what if we talk about race relations, because it's an interracial conversation, that's a conversation. I do want to deviate.
Because I want to go away from. Do you disagree? You don't think diluting the black family or anyone, if you keep intermixing race, that will happen?
No, I do agree, and that's what I was going to say. I do believe that just from a simple mathematical, you don't even got to talk race, and everybody can talk race. I'm logical. You can take all the emotion off the table, but I can get emotional if you want me to. Logically, if we're 11% of the country and we keep intermixing, every time that happens, the number percentage, granted, they still count those kids as black. If you're not teaching them black, I think what Dr. Umar gets a bad rap on is the idea that some of his could be called radical views are supposed to be the cutting edge of the conversation. Everybody don't have to believe that. Hell, we have friends that have mixed race babies and we love them, and hell, one of them is my goddaughter. But if we're really just talking about a numbers game, we're talking mathematics and money, yeah, that's a stone cold fact. Dr. Umar was not incorrect in what he said. Where he lost me at was when he started getting into I can't remember her name, the tennis chick.
Just be Serena. I don't know her name. I'm not a tennis.
I can't remember right now.
I catch clips. But anyway,
Charlemagne debunked his comment about that right there immediately. Like, she does represent her black side and she does pour into the black community. She happened to be playing for her Asian side in the Olympics, but I don't know who decides that and why. Why would she not play with Jamaica and why she would play with?
Well, the little I know about that, there were rules
because she lived there
to where she had to play for them, not because she chose it. And she also opened up she either opened schools or hospital or something in Africa for her side, by the way. So
yes,
it did debunk,
and that's what I said. Charlemagne did debunk his point.
It just made Dr. Umar Johnson ignorant because he didn't
in that sense. But the first comment. So what happens to do is that he makes essentially I think that video clip was about 5 minutes. He makes a rant. He goes off on a rant, and in that rant, he makes a very fine point, and then he backs it up with what could be debunked or argued down, and then people harp on the back half and they forget about the front half. It's a stone cold fact that any minority, ask the Jews, ask anybody who does keep it inner circle, ask Asians who shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, these businesses and kind of salute to the shop, but ask anybody in those scenarios. They keep it within their circle for a reason, and we're the only ones that don't.
I'm gonna pause you for 1 second, Mike.
Don't forget where you at, Mike, so we can go back in.
Before you go into that, so this is actually not a shot today. It's actually a cocktail, and I'm calling it "Don't Matter If You're Black and White or White." Y'all know. And so basically, the way you drink it is that you make a White Russian. You get a 99 coffee espresso, 99 coffee espresso. You make a White Russian, get a 99 coffee espresso, and basically you just go ahead and release the Kraken in that bitch.
Are we gonna release it?
You gotta release the Kraken. And now
you had too much fun with that.
And now your drink is officially mixed raced, and you enjoy it.
Nah, I'm gonna taste this real quick. I'm gonna give my review, Mike. And then
if Steve threw that in your face, I'd laugh my ass off.
Why would I ever do that? That's disrespectful to another black man, sir.
Yeah. Remember, I'm a mixed African. I'm not a mixed.
I haven't gone there once this episode. I'll let you rock.
Good.
My African brother.
Bro, this is a very good mixed drink, bro. I like that ass. Like, this
is mixed We're not just shots, so we're doing mixed drinks too now over here on the portal.
I'm very glad you made this one.
Thank you.
I'm definitely gonna sit with this one for a minute.
Don't you can't.
Yeah, he said it's a cocktail. It's a cocktail,
and there's literally tons of liquor in this. So.
Yeah,
don't take it like a shot. You be in there throwing up.
I'm gonna sip this and I'm gonna sit with it definitely for a minute. But I'm gonna sip this throughout a combo though.
Thank you.
We're
finishing up the combo. Go ahead.
Dr. Umar and the whole mixed race thing. I feel like in the interracial dating scheme, it is very easy. And I said this during the pod. When we talking all kumbaya, trust me, man, love is love, and everybody can do whatever the hell they want. I rock out, man. I got nothing against anything anybody's doing. One of my best friends' wife is literally a white woman, and his kids mix. Talk about Claude. And I have other friends like Don and a few other people that, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But if we're having the combo that's mostly presented to us, because black people aren't normally just walking around being fucking racist. We get presented with the shits, and then we got to answer the questions.
But I have to be 100, and I have to be 100%. I have never had any overt comments made to me ever about
you never been called a nigga?
No. Actually, I was at a 4th of July party in Shell Beach and Tallahassee, and a person threw a firecracker at me and called me a nigger, and I'm saying ER on the air just so y'all know. The late it was 100%. I was too drunk to even notice it. My white roommate was literally visibly upset about that shit and said something to the person, almost started a fight. So it's not necessarily we can't help what people say about your relationships or even your existence. But if you surround yourself with good people and actual allies, you just got to educate yourself and just surround yourself with actual allies, your friends, your people. I don't think it's as much because, like I told you, like Renee's an ally. She's not only my wife, but she's an ally, and she recognizes that. So to the point where I don't even have to do it. So sort of, like I said, when I'm out with my mixed race daughter and my white wife and my white son, yeah, there are probably eyes on us like, what the fuck is going on? What is that giant monkey doing with those white people and that caramel
I will
child,
say, depending on where, I don't know if it's that bad.
We are in a bubble.
Yeah.
So we do live in a bubble. In South Tampa, it is a bit of a bubble. Little bit of a bubble.
Explain, like you mean?
So,
I might agree with you, but I don't know.
So,
well, he's hanging around a bunch of other allies. He's not in the black clubs with him.
There are allies
Renee.
here. Like let's just say in general, where we live at in South Tampa, we carried the county for becoming a blue state. My hometown of Pinellas County, blue state. Like we live in a blue amongst a lot of red motherfuckers, and so I'm just saying, ideologically, we are in a bit of a bubble here in South Tampa.
Okay, can I just say, because honestly, me personally,
Tampa though, not necessarily all of Tampa.
I personally would feel comfortable anywhere. I mean, I could be with a full stone cold white girl, blue eyes, blonde hair.
100%.
Like I could go anywhere, and I personally would feel comfortable. Also, I'm comfortable with myself.
And that's what I'm saying to Mike.
But I'm talking about locally where I live. I'm not saying I'm trying to walk through some other shit to where my life could be in danger, and I'm like, hey, I feel comfortable. I'm talking about today in the state I live in, the city I'm in. I'm comfortable walking around with a white girl. I just so happen never dated a white girl.
Yeah.
Mike, are you comfortable dating, or are you comfortable walking? Like, would you be comfortable with a white girl, Mike?
I am me in every situation. For me, it ain't about being comfortable.
I am Lake, sir.
I am Mike Lake, but I am also comfortable in my skin. For me, it ain't about necessarily the judgments of people around me. I told y'all in the beginning where I stand, where I feel. I've been in conversations. I hang out at McDenton's and other white bars. I hung out in black bars, Latino bars, whatever. I feel like the conversations that there's a gap, and I don't feel like trying to make up the distance in that gap to start a relationship, or even starting a relationship without having make up the difference. Call it racism or call it whatever you want. I have nothing against white women. I have tons of white women friends, and I'm not saying that as
that's
like
what white people say about black.
Yeah, I'm not saying that as that. When I say tons, I'm talking tons, literally tons. Equal amounts, equal opportunity, everything, even friends with wives that fit that. But we're talking about me dating. We're talking about my girlfriend being able to sit in the room with my mom and have a conversation that's just inherently understood. And that's what matters to me. It ain't about the judgments of my fellow black people. It's about me and my comfortability in my household. It's about where our religion might collide or coincide. It's about a lot of shit that isn't spoken. And I'm sure if we wanted to have a conversation, I don't want to have another hour-long pod. If me and Claude had to weigh not pros and cons, if we had to list the things that are similar and different, I'm sure Claude could find a few differences where he's like, I have to explain to my wife certain things that she just doesn't inherently understand. Where my son's mother understands. All the women I've dated understand. My current girlfriend, who is even Mexican, understands. There's a relatability there.
Also,
there's not as wide of a chasm as all.
Not to rebuff what you're saying and get back into the weeds and like you said, have another hour-long podcast. We could do that any other day, next Thursday, whatever Thursday. But like you said, I think as a black man who grew up a certain way, I tailored. Like you know all of the white women that I've dated in this town. You know all of them, and they all.
I can't remember none of their names.
for my wife, hopefully.
That's a me problem. That's a me problem.
Yeah, but it's being smart about it, because at the end of the day, somebody that you want to date. I'm not just talking about smashing and fucking. I'm not, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't really care in that aspect. It was just about getting my dick wet, 100%. But somebody that I want to make a child with and have a family with and have a life with, it's pretty intentional. And whereas it could have been, to me, I feel like it could have been a black girl, it could have been a Hispanic girl, could have been an Indian girl, could have been an Asian girl, but there was a criteria that was going to be there that had nothing to do with the skin, and 100% it was that you had to understand that I am a black man, and there are not consequences, but there is a responsibility that comes along with that. And if you can't handle that, whatever race you are, there's a responsibility that comes with being a black woman that's with a black man. Would you not agree?
I'm with you, Clark.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So but I will say to that, that's where you're talking about. So let's say if I was only dating white women, exclusively white women, that I'm going to have to weed through and find someone to fit that bill. Whereas I know for sure a black sister knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about when some bullshit happened. You met one that it works for. All of our homies that are with met ones that it works for.
Yeah.
That's not every girl y'all smash. And the question of have I ever been fetishized? That's not, I mean, unless the fetish is dark skin and chocolate, I don't know. But I can tell you this, it ain't been because of pure race, though. Because the people I fucked with black people before me, because it's where it's at.
I will say I agree with what you're saying to a T. I've literally have had sex with white girls that have literally said I've never fucked a black guy. It's on my list. I want to check it off.
And like I said,
at that point,
I slept with a few white girls, and that may have happened with those few, but those was just get offs, and that's what it is. But those numbers are small. We're talking like 1, maybe 2 in my whole 35 years. But where I could tell you, I know when I'm every girl that I've had, even before my current Mexican girlfriend, it's never been like I've never been with a black male before. Tell us about your big dicks. It's girls who like hang with, we talking West Tampa, we talking Brandon, Temple Terry, we talking girls that be around and hang that was in full moon, not just as no diss to Melissa, is that her name, Melissa? No diss to the homie. Wasn't there just because she was working, but was there because that's the people she fuck with. When the drama pop off, she know how to move. When the police come, she know how to move. Certain things happening, like in Get Out. It ain't like why are you asking for his ID? Because everybody in my car, and no offense to white people, we know what time it is. We not fucking off over here because we are already lock and step. Like I said, there's 100 pitfalls in relationships, and I don't feel like catching you up to speed on the culture ones. Then starting the relationship.
Away from that shit's normal to me that the passenger always gets asked for their ID.
Right.
I remember got pulled over with Mike one time. They pulled us up right by the fence right off Hillsborough. They came to me, they asked for my ID too. I gave it to them because I thought that's what you supposed to do.
Was it because they couldn't see him through the tinted windows?
All the windows was down, they still thought it was tinted.
We gonna love. Steve high-fived you, but one joke was better than the other.
No, but they asked me for my ID too. I'm on the passenger side. I literally have no obligation to give you that, but I don't got time to play with y'all motherfuckers. You ask for the ID, I'm gonna give it to you so we can get the fuck on home.
And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I ain't trying to get me shot because you got points to make.
So this is why I love this show, because we can have a topic that starts off talking about interracial dating and actually get into some shit that's 100 and 100 and 100. And this is why I love this show. But if y'all don't have anything else, probably we've got our time. We should probably go ahead and get in the last call. What you think, Mike?
Interracial dating. All I'm gonna say is shout out to the homie.
Do the last call. Do the last call graphic.
I do want to do that. Hold on.
Fine, dude. Just so y'all know, my computer fucked up. I will literally post a picture. It literally has been sitting here on 0% down. I normally run the.
Watch me interrupt Claude.
Mike.
Let's call.
Go ahead, Claude. You got it.
The actual graphic. So yeah, my computer is fucked. I think I gotta get a new one. My wife's been wanting a new one for a hot minute. So anyway, I'm gonna go first. I never go first, so I'll go first. Last call for alcohol. I'm gonna post the shot. Y'all have been very receptive to my shots. I appreciate that. Y'all have been very receptive to our show in general since we started doing the live. I think that we probably jumped a good 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I just got to tell y'all thank you. And probably about 20 or 30 subscribers on YouTube. Share it. We fucked up with the link today. Next week it will not be that.
We said every week,
but we're like Iron Man.
That's the tagline, Steve. That's the tagline. We're gonna fix it next week.
We'll fix it next week. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for listening. It don't matter if you're black and white,
and white or white
or white.
No, he said it. He said what his truth is.
It don't matter if you're black or white.
Speak your truth, Clark. Black and white.
No, actually, I'm pretty sober. Black.
You're not. Every time Clark
black and white.
He sings.
I want to thank all our guests that was on today. But
I got a piece.
Smash who you're gonna smash. Do what you're gonna do. Date who you're gonna date. Just understand though that if you are going to be in a mixed relationship in this country, there are some responsibilities that come along with it. So just be prepared for that and choose your mates wisely. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, you definitely drunk.
I'm fucked up.
Wisely.
My last call. Not to sound cliche, but love is love, and also you are allowed to have a preference. There's nothing wrong with the preference. If you whatever you prefer, that's what you prefer. I mean, hell, Melissa just said you got to be 6 foot plus. Nothing wrong with that preference because she's also a tall female.
Yeah.
Just like Amanda, she also said she likes short guys for whatever reason. That's what she likes.
Short.
Or maybe that's why. But whatever it is, you're allowed to have your preference, and it should not be questioned. And you're not wrong for having any type preferences. Nothing is wrong with that. If you prefer white women, that's just what it is. But you also, if you're a black man that prefer white women, the issue becomes an issue when you have to diss the black women on why you like white women. That's what I do not like. But neither here nor there, because I'm going to stretch this bitch like Mike in a small T. And I'm not trying to go that route.
Mike in a medium T, large T.
Just small, just like I was stretching the small T. Yeah. You was like it wasn't a Mike diss, and you tried to make it one. You tried to up the size for Mike. Anyway, this is my last call.
like Mike in a large XL. We keep going.
Mike. I think Mike got the reference. It wasn't this. Like I could have said me or whatever. Whatever.
I don't feel it.
Like Steve in a small T. I don't want to stretch this bitch. And that's it for my last call. Y'all, be safe.
My last call is gonna be what?
No, I was just saying. Go ahead.
You took a deep breath like it's been talked.
No. I was just saying you got to go ahead and get this done so that you can do your porn shoot in the background there. So just go.
I'm happily married. I love my wife.
You married?
Not yet. Anyway, my last call is going to be. Speaking of her, we were watching a show called The Bachelor, and on The Bachelor there was a mixed race kid, look a lot like Claude in his heyday.
Might be
he might be not. Well, never mind. I want to get
that. This is Mike's last call, and yes, I might have a legitimate son out there somewhere.
I'll allot 30 seconds for Steve to get on your ass.
Oh, go ahead. The distinguishing gentleman from Florida.
I said Steve.
Go ahead, Mike.
Don't try to take it. No, but back to it. We're watching a show called The Bachelor, and in The Bachelor there was a black bachelor, one of the first black male bachelors, whatever. He picked the woman he picked, and just so happened that during the season when it was airing, after it was recording, they found out about the girl he ultimately ended up picking. Went to like a antebellum party, and it was kind of wild. And she's hanging with her white buddies and doing what she do. And ultimately, on the last rose, and you could tell I'm in a relationship because I watched this whole shit. Ultimately on the last rose, they broke up. He had to break up with her because she crossed a racial line that shouldn't be crossed. Her excuse or her explanation was she had no knowledge. I didn't know what I was doing was the thing. And he was saying, yeah, but still you crossed such a line that I can't even undo it. So you got to do your own homework. You got to meet me at the table with the information, and you can't be coming up behind. And that's all I was saying. And that's from a mixed race kid, look a lot like Claude. Where I stand as a black male who's very black and very proud, who's very dark skinned, who's very black and very proud, who's very dark skinned, and who grew up with my grandfather who marched with Martin when he came down this way, and a whole bunch of other shit that I don't want to get into, that I just don't feel like trying to. And I'm not saying that every woman lives this life. Every woman that ain't black lives this life. I'm saying that I don't care to try to weed through the weeds to figure out if you did your homework or not. I know where my sisters stand. I know where the Latinos stand. Even if. Now, the Latinos is a short conversation. Where do your political leanings lean? And because we know what the Cubans did in the election, and I don't want to get into that. But the point and the basic point is this. While dating, as a man, whether I have a million options or one option or anything in between, don't have the time to be making up for lost information or information not obtained. And whether you're an ally or you're not, salute to all my allies. I love the people who rock with us and keep rocking. But I am where I am, and like Steve said, your preferences are your preferences. You could date who you could date. I've stumbled across a few allies that I've seen in bars and clubs, but again, I don't feel like bringing you to the cookout to try to be like, well, hey, here's things you can and can't do. Like, there's a lot there that I just got a hard enough time being in a fucking relationship. So no, nothing against any other race people, and if like certain people say they like tall or skinny, I wouldn't fit either one of those. You got your preferences. I got mine. I never been in a relationship with a white woman, and I never brought one home. I brought home black women and a few Latinos, and that's where I'm at. Last call.
Thank you, gentlemen. Just got to do Mike, you want to throw up the graphic for Shift Division Media real quick? Just got to remind y'all to please like and subscribe to this video and share if you can. There's so many videos. I think we have over 150 videos on our YouTube channel. It's a lot of episodes where we talk about a lot of shit. It's all usually us being drunk, talking about what we feel in this world. And we do appreciate our viewers, our subscribers. But share and like us. You can't just watch it, because if you like us and you don't share it, you're doing your friends a great disservice by not letting them know what's out there. And we feel like we're the shit.
Y'all some fucking haters.
Haters.
That's what I'm saying.
100% haters. 100% haters. I mean,
if you don't share it, you're a hater.
No,
I just some of everything you say. Hey, you're a fucking hater.
Like, you can legit go watch Joe Budden, but you can watch Joe Budden and also scroll past us.
They don't watch Joe Budden.
No, they don't. Oh.
You can hit the share button, or you're a hater. That's what we at with it.
100%. And
don't hate the poor up. We out here.
Don't hate the poor up. So, Mike, who are you?
I am Mike Lake, aka Hillsborough Slim, aka in the CD Motel, also called the Marriott.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do. I am CP34.
Steve Cash Moneybags, aka the Fitness Daddy, the Vampire. They definitely tell stories about your boy around the campfire. Believe every one of them.
All right, yo, this is the Poor Up Podcast.
And before don't be starting nothing. I bust something. If y'all some fucking haters, don't press that share button.
Oh, keep it going. No, it's the Poor Up Podcast.
That's why the white hoes love.